Hello, I am Gregory the Poor Typist, and welcome to another edition of Typewriter Club Live. This week, we're kind of playing catch up. I had a couple weeks off, so I'm just asking members what you've been typing the last week or even the last 2 weeks. So we do have Joe Van Cleve joining us, so hopefully he's been up to something because I have hardly even touched typewriters the past couple weeks. Yeah, it's been a rough 2 weeks. I'll just say that much. Yes. I hope everybody enjoyed Virtual or Herman's. Joe's having breakfast.
French toast.
French toast, excellent. One of my favorites. Yeah. How are you, Joe?
I am pretty good, thank you.
Excellent, excellent.
I don't know if you can tell, but my table is rather crowded here, and I have this little rangefinder camera that I've been playing around with the last few weeks.
Nice.
And shooting some video this morning of loading it up with film and getting starting to use it. I bought a brick of let's see, what is this? Kentmere 100, right? It's a black and white 100 speed.
Oh, okay.
From Harman, the parent company of Ilford. Anyways, just starting to shoot this camera.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, having fun with it.
Yeah.
Breakfast.
Very
get a
good.
typewriter out here on the table when I'm done eating.
Yeah. Excellent. I was concerned that everybody was going to forget about the time change. I almost did, actually. But yeah, we're here, so.
Yep. Well, you don't get as much sleep in the springtime, right? You lose that hour.
Yeah, I did not need to lose that hour. I'm still kind of recovering, so yeah.
This was the first year where I actually was prepared for daylight savings time, and I went to bed an hour early.
Good for you.
Turned all my clocks back last night. I was like, wow, I'm so prepared.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And how are you, Eric?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Excellent.
Really sorry to hear about everything that happened, Greg.
Yeah, it's been a crazy time.
they say terrible things happen in threes, so.
Yeah, I think I got my 3, so yeah. The coast should be clear now. Hopefully.
I might have to leave in a hurry if I hear the FedEx truck come, because I'm actually expecting a typewriter today. So
you don't want to do a live unboxing?
No, I will, but I have to make sure that I'm there to sign for the package, because they were supposed to deliver it on Friday, but I wasn't here, so and that's fine. I figured, okay, they'll deliver it on Saturday when I am here. I was here all day, and I heard them drive up. I saw them, back into the parking lot. I went to my door to wait for them to knock, and then I heard them drive away, and I was like, "What?
What?"
they never even knocked. So I called customer service, and they're like, "Oh yeah, sorry, we'll have to deliver it tomorrow then."
Oh, what a tease!
Yeah, and I was worried because the longer they're handling the package, the more likely it is to get damaged. So,
of course.
And this is my first time buying a typewriter online, so
dare I ask where it was from?
Yeah, so I got it on eBay from a Goodwill in Indiana, and it's I won't say what typewriter it is, because I want to keep it a surprise, but it was going for a relatively good price, and I looked at the reviews and searched typewriter to filter the results to see if anybody commented on anything like it getting damaged in the shipping or anything like that, and everyone said that it was shipped or packaged extremely well, so I decided to take a chance.
Yeah, I think the shop Goodwills have come a long way in learning how to pack typewriters. And I mean, they kind of had to, because they're making huge money on those typewriters now. So yeah, you better pack them correctly. Can you imagine like one of those typewriters that sells for like $400 or $500? Imagine that getting damaged in shipment. That would truly be heartbreaking.
So I do hear rumors, though,
yes,
of some Goodwill auctions on the actual Shop Goodwill website, where the auction gets goes up really high in price, and then they cancel the auction at the last minute and then repost it like a week later.
Yeah. That happens on eBay too. Like
people are thinking it's some insiders in Goodwill that are doing that, but we're not really sure. It's just supposition, right? But hopefully yours comes okay in good quality.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. That's very cool. I can assume it's a manual typewriter, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Remind me, do you have any electric typewriters?
I don't. I want to get one eventually. I'd like to get a Type Bar electric, probably like a Smith Corona, like one that uses a like a regular ribbon. I don't really want to mess with the cartridges or anything like that. So yeah. Those
usually the Smith Corona, it's like an aqua color, and it has the red lettering. Those
the 5 series. The 5 series TE.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those go for.
Yeah, I'd love one of those.
Those are probably the best because they're really like the smallest electric typewriter, I think, or one of the smallest. I know there were some like Brothers that were electrified back in the late 70s, maybe, or something, and they're probably pretty small also. But I think those 5 series Smith Coronas are just really good. And actually, the 6 series are too. And also look for the Singer brand. Right, Singer sold Smith Corona 6 series electrics.
Yep,
their brand also.
Yeah, because it's the same thing, right? It's just branded.
Yep. So should I bring out one of those 2 typewriters today?
Of course.
Yeah.
So which one should I bring out, the Singer or the 5 series?
Maybe side by side.
Yeah,
I have room. I don't know.
You made a video where you compared those, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to go get something to drink, and I'll be back. And
all right, sounds good, Joe.
All right.
Yeah, so I haven't been typing much this week, or actually the past couple of weeks for obvious reasons. But I did actually get a new typewriter. Yesterday, I actually gave away 2 typewriters to the Pet Adoption Center thrift store, a Smith Corona Ultrasonic 1, because I have the Ultrasonic 3, so I figured, well, I might as well get rid of the 1. There's no point in having 2
Perfect. Thank you so much.
monster typewriters. And then the other one I gave away was my Royal Apollo 10, because I did get a Royal Apollo 12 that is blue, and it works much better. I did have to fiddle with it a little bit, open it up and get the little gear. Oh, he has the package. Wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Yeah, I did have to open it up and get the little wheel moving, but it seems to work fine now, so I didn't hesitate in getting rid of the Apollo 10. So, and for those that don't know, those are electric Type Bar typewriters, and they're known for being like the quietest ones you can get. They're like super quiet. So yeah. All right, Eric, are you just about ready to open it?
Yeah, I just gotta grab a knife. Maybe I should wait until Joe gets back.
That might be a good idea. Yeah. In the meantime, we'll say hellos. Christoph, how are you doing? I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Yeah, we don't have sound for you, but welcome. So hopefully you can work on that and we can talk to you a little later. William, how are you doing?
Doing very well. Thank you much.
Excellent. Very good. Yeah, go ahead.
So you survived the clock change?
Just barely, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I have to start this an hour early now, in my internal clock.
Yep. Have to spring forward.
Yeah. I really wish they would just get rid of that. I think it's a waste of time, but
Some do, some don't. I really appreciate having the longer evenings.
Okay.
Having grown up on a farm, I'm always outside, always doing things, and the more light I can have, the more I can get down outside before it gets dark.
That's true. That's true. But maybe they could just leave it at those hours and just
Yeah.
pick one and stick with it.
Yeah.
Of course, that would throw us off from the rest of the world, but
Well, Saskatchewan stays on the same time all year round
oh, okay.
because the division between mountain time and central time runs right through the middle of Saskatchewan. Instead of having half the province one, half the province other, they just stay on standard time all year round.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So in the summertime, we are on the same time zone as Saskatchewan. But in the wintertime, Manitoba is on the same time zone as Saskatchewan.
Wow. It gets a little confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, Arizona is similar. I'm not sure what their reasoning is, but I think they just want to be different.
Well, Arizona is on mountain time limits, on the same time zone as we are up in, as I am.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
think so. Arizona is 1 hour ahead of you. Is it?
Usually, yes. I don't know if we caught up to them or I don't remember, but I just know they don't do the time change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were having a discussion about that last night, and the closer a place is to the equator, the less difference there is between summer and winter time.
Ah.
Daylight hours. If you are located between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, you pretty well have 12 hours a day, 12 hours of light, 12 hours of night every day.
Okay.
On the equator, there's almost no difference. The further north, further south you get, the greater the difference is.
Ah. Okay. Okay. Oh, and I saw last night we finally got an international person to join the Type and Talk. I believe was it David Gear from Australia?
I don't know if it was David Gear, but it was David. But he was from Brisbane, as opposed to David Gear, I believe, is from Sydney.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it's another David.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when you get 3 different Bruces from Australia, it starts getting confusing.
Yeah.
Hey, Bruce.
Hello, Bruce.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, I think Eric is ready for his unboxing. I can't wait. So let's get to that.
Is that why there's a box on Eric's desk?
Yes. Yeah. He was kindly waiting for Joe to return. So yeah.
Go, Eric. Go, go, go.
Don't cut yourself.
So there's a lot of paper.
That's a good sign.
Good.
The suspense is building.
I bet you this is a typewriter. Oh, it looks like an Olympia.
Yep, I'm thinking the same thing. SM7?
SM9?
9.
SM8.
SM9, SM8. Okay.
No, SM9.
SM9. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that case looks just like mine.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
when
the
you read sheet.
carriage wasn't locked, eh?
No, and a little disturbed to see that there was no packing inside the case.
Yeah, it does seem to be working pretty well, though.
Yeah, looks like it works great.
Excellent, excellent.
I have had typewriter shipped where the box is beautifully packaged, where the case is beautifully packaged inside the box, then the typewriter came loose in its case.
Oh yeah. That's bad.
Thankfully, those Olympia cases are like they lock in really, really well. So I'd never be worried about the typewriter coming off, but the carriage not being locked always opens up the typewriter for escapement damage, which would be
Yeah,
the worst.
that's what I was worried about.
Yeah,
But it looks like it's fine.
good. Well, they're built like bricks, German bricks.
That is awesome. Do you have other SMs in your collection?
I have an SM3.
Oh yeah,
but that's it.
Okay.
This one seems to type a lot nicer. I mean, this thing, it feels really good.
That is awesome. Yeah, my SM9 is the one that the person was selling it for $30, and I was so pleased with it, I gave them $40.
Yeah, the Platin is like, oh, it's hard, but it's not like as hard as my Olympia SM3. That thing is like a diamond on the Mohs hardness scale. So there's like a few keys that might stick, but I think.
Oh yeah, that's
just
not to be
clean it.
concerned with.
Well, it's the machine itself is what, an early to mid 1970s.
It's really fairly quiet too.
Yeah.
And the type is great.
Oh, the
Wow,
key.
is it-
That's
is it
nice.
clean? So I don't know if this is like a new ribbon. It looks like a new ribbon.
Wow.
Well,
The
don't
ribbon
replace
cover-
it unless you have to.
Okay, unclip the ribbon cover at the very front edge.
Is
And
that?
it hinges. Unclip the
You
ribbon
lift
cover
it up from
at-
the space bar. Pull it up from the space bar.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a hinged lid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
That's interesting.
Mind the carriage return lever.
Yeah,
It's like
that's fine.
opening the hood of your car to inspect the engine.
Yes.
I think all typewriters should be designed that way.
I agree.
Looks like it has a serial number.
No. No.
It has a serial number, just like either that or a
Oh.
social security number. I don't know.
That's possible.
Well,
the
you can
serial
check under
number
the
you'll
back and-
find. The serial number you'll find is on the bottom of the machine, towards the back.
Stand it on his back. It's gonna be easier for you to face it.
Yeah.
Probably on that bluish.
2970. So
Sorry, say that again?
2970708.
There you go.
the same as what's on the front.
Okay,
Oh.
there you go.
Well,
It
somebody
also
obviously
has-
wanted their serial number for reference right in front of them for some reason. I don't know why, but
It also
Yeah.
has this plate on it that says Mid City Typewriter Co. Inc.
cool.
Oh, I love those things.
South Main Street, Auburn, Indiana, which is where I bought it from, Indiana.
Okay.
So it hasn't gone far.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's in New Hampshire.
There you go. Oh, that is
Cool.
awesome, Eric.
Yeah, so I'm gonna clean it up.
Yeah. Now, how dirty is it?
It's dirty, but not like horrible. Just like a little bit of dust in there,
Okay.
but that's about it.
Wow. Now, I'm
Like
not
it
to
was
ask you how
taken
much
pretty
you
care of.
paid, but I
So-
ask, were you pleased with the amount, or did you kind of have to pay up for it, or?
No, I was really happy with it. I'm not I don't mind saying how much I paid for it. It was $140-ish with shipping.
Okay.
And most of the ones I've seen have been going for at least 200. There was even one that I saw on Craigslist that was in the town over from here. It looked like it was in worse condition and they wanted 200 for it. So,
Oh, geez.
so
Well,
I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, it looks like you did
It's
well.
the most I've paid for a typewriter, but I'm not complaining.
Well, you know, they describe those SM9s as real workhorses and being very reliable. So
Yeah, I mean, it types really smooth, really snappy.
yeah.
So
And it has an interesting font or typeface. Look at the G. In
yeah,
the dog.
and the J is kind of different too. I don't know.
So I think it's modern.
Okay, it has the open tail on the G.
Yeah, and the J kind of like it swoops down and then it goes flat.
You might have a little
Same thing with the
Congress.
G.
You might have a Congress there, Eric. Get the numbers off the type bars when you have a minute, and we'll.
Yeah, I mean, I have a Congress Pica machine, but it doesn't look like
Oh.
like this.
Well, Olympia had a lot of different versions of
Yeah.
Okay.
To me, I think it's modern techno, but it's not the.
No,
not
that'd
the
be very
techno-
square, Dan.
Yeah, right. I'm wrong. Modern pica.
Maybe a modern pica, yeah.
I was looking for the squarish, but it's not. No, it's not square enough to be the modern techno.
So what did you say about the number? Like you want to see the numbers?
It's
Yeah, so if you look on the type
slug.
bars, between the uppercase and the lowercase is like the, I don't know what you call it, the little stamp number that will sort of tell you the type bar. It's got a manufacturer's mark. It's very small. I mean, you'll need a light. You'll have to turn it around. You'll probably have to take 10 minutes to really get close to it. But you can always,
I
let
have
us
pretty
know
good
afterwards.
eyes. Oh, it's upside down.
Yeah, Eric is young.
And
The
you're
other
under the
trick-
pressure. Everybody's watching you here, so.
Yeah.
The other trick is to take a picture with your phone and then zoom in with the picture.
Yeah, that's what I have to do.
Because the numbers are really small, and it's the foundry identification number. Yeah, good luck reading it with your bare eyes.
I'm trying to find one that's clean enough.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
This is where you get your nails dirty.
Yeah.
Might be easier to see with a loop. Which I just so happen to have one.
Well, how convenient.
I know.
You know you're a
Looks-
nerd when you've got a loop to look at your type.
Looks like 6768.
Are they sort of on a plus sign and then there's 6768 or?
Sign. So that could be 66. 67/66.
Okay, yeah, 66 is a standard font type, but we'll research. Let's research. Anyway,
It's the race for research.
Yeah.
I love research.
Yeah, it's definitely 67/66 with an X under it.
Is it an actual slash?
It's like a straight.
And then there's
Type.
67 and then 66 on the other side?
It's 67 and then a slash or like a straight, and then 67, and then it's like over another line and then an X under it.
Okay.
quite often a vertical slash is referred to as a pipe.
Yes, yes.
What?
A
pipe-
vertical slash is referred to as a pipe.
A
Oh,
pipe?
okay.
Pipe.
P-I-P-E.
Oh,
Yes. Yes. As in either the thing you smoke tobacco in,
Yeah, there you
or,
go.
or the thing that carries water.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, I will try to remember that for work on Monday. So I can impress people.
Yes.
Very cool. Well, I'm very, very pleased for you, Eric. That is awesome.
Thank you. Got an exclamation point too.
That's always a bonus.
And it's basket shift, which I wasn't expecting
Yes.
because my SM3 is carriage shift.
Up to
Oh,
the
yeah.
SM7s were carriage, SM8 and SM9 were basket.
Nice.
Well, you've got modern elite, Eric.
There you go.
Cool.
Right. I said pica, but we didn't ask about the number on the line indicator.
Well, yeah, so it's got 66 and 67. So Eric's going to have to measure it because it will either be modern elite or modern pica, right? It's got both numbers on there.
The ruler goes up to 8 or 80.
Okay, then Daniel's
It's
right.
pica.
Modern
Yeah.
pica, yep.
Yep.
Either way, it's modern.
Mhm.
There you go.
All right. Very cool. A
Yeah.
successful unboxing.
Nothing broken. One day somebody's going to open up a box and it's just going to be parts, and we're all going to be like really embarrassed for them.
So Eric, just next to me is a little bit younger one than what you have. It's a 9. And this one has the tabulator set here, like on
Yep.
the left hand side.
Yeah, I've got a few buttons and knobs. I'll have to figure out what they do.
Yeah.
on the side. But it looks like I've got the tab set on the right side of the space bar. Then I think this is the touch control.
Okay.
And this is the ribbon reverse.
The top one is
That
your
was quick.
carriage lock. The top little lever next
Oh yeah,
to
that's the carriage
number
lock.
one,
Okay. Yep.
carriage lock.
If there is two levers on the left side, if you move the upper lever up, then move the carriage back and forth, it should lock.
Yes, that's the case.
There you go.
So I thought I had saved the Olympia typeface. I'm looking for it.
All right. Looks like Christoph is back. Oh, we still don't have audio for you. Oh no. No audio. Oh. If I don't know if you're in the app, if you go to the little arrow next to the mute button, you should be able to select your audio source or your microphone source rather.
And now, can you hear
There you
me?
go.
There
Yes,
you
there you go.
Ah, yeah, cool.
Excellent. All right, how are you?
Fine, and you?
Very good. You're new to the live stream, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. So did you just want to give us a brief introduction about yourself?
I'm Christophe. I'm 37. I'm French. I'm from France. And I
Bonjour
have,
et bienvenue au club.
merci. And I have my little babies just here.
Yes. Excellent.
I began my collection because my daughter would have a typewriter. She saw a typewriter in a museum and she said, I want this, I want one. And now I have 14
Oh, wow.
because I continue the collection. And my best one is this one, my Remington with French Army plate from 1961.
Cool.
Same age as me.
Excellent. And I believe I see an Olympia Traveler Deluxe there in the middle.
Orange red one.
A blue one with yep.
3 Olympia,
That one, yeah.
blue, red, and green.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a yellow, but it's not an Olympia. The yellow, I don't remember.
Okay. Cool.
My Underwood 11, 2 Olivities, and 3 Remington. 1, 2, and 3 Remingtons. A third up.
There we go. Yeah, I love those Olympia Traveler Deluxes. It's one of my favorite designs. And at the top of my wish list is the orange one with the white trim. I just think those are beautiful. So, yeah, very cool.
Greg, you should get the whole color collection like Christoph's got.
I know, huh? It's tempting.
Green, the blue.
Yeah.
And I remember I saw Joe Van Cleef with old camera.
Yes.
A few minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
Yes, this is the Zorky 1E. So it's the Zorky 1E.
I have a Zenith just here, my Nikon, and my other.
Well, if you go to my
cameras.
YouTube channel, you'll see that this is the camera that my friend Ethan totally disassembled and cleaned and serviced and replaced the shutter curtains, at least the I think the first curtain. anyways, yeah, that was quite a job, and I couldn't have done it myself, but he did a really good job of it. And so I'm throwing up a roll of film in this and seeing what happens.
Nice. Oh, wow. That's quite a lens there.
Yep.
Uh,
What is that?
tear free from 9558 Russian lens.
Oh yeah.
Zoom.
What lens mount is it? Is it like a thread mount?
Sorry.
Is it like a thread mount? What lens mount is that lens?
M 42.
M42. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
que ça dit?
Screwed.
Yep. Very cool.
Wow. That is excellent. And what do you usually use your typewriters for?
For the moment, I collect them, but I subscribe to Typewriters to begin to write with.
Oh, excellent.
My Remington from the army will serve for it, but I have to change the ribbon to find the ribbon, but she works perfectly. It's in insane condition.
Nice.
Is like new.
That is always nice to add those to your collection. Yeah, very cool. Have you gotten into fixing or maintaining the typewriters at all?
For the moment, I have only mechanic, but I don't think I will buy some electric.
Oh, okay.
I like camera. I don't like new camera. I prefer old mechanic.
Okay.
Est-ce que tu les répares toi-même? C'est ça la question.
No, I don't repair.
He doesn't repair them himself.
No.
Oh, okay.
I can fix myself.
Excellent. All right. Well, welcome. It's so glad to have a new face on here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Christoph, whereabouts now? Is Christoph your first or your last name?
Sorry.
Is Christoph your first or your last name? Your family name or your
It's
given
my
name?
first name, yeah. First.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind me asking, whereabouts in France are you?
I'm from Orléans.
Okay.
It's 100 kilometers from Paris.
Okay.
Oh,
Which direction?
The city of Joanne d'Arc.
Okay.
North.
And it's south. It's South Paris.
South.
Okay.
In
Where's
the
the
middle.
photo?
It's
Yeah.
in the middle of the country.
okay.
Interesting.
We had a 25% chance, Dan, and we were both wrong.
Oh, I was thinking north of France, not north of Paris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good cover.
It's a old Orléans, not the new Orleans.
Right.
Yes. It is.
Very cool.
Okay.
All right. And Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys?
Good. It looks like you went on a typewriter shopping spree in the last month.
Yeah, I got here. Let me got them all out so I can show you guys.
Very cool.
I haven't cleaned any of them yet, but I got this nice Erica typewriter. Finally got an Underwood Champion
Awesome.
one.
Oh.
And then I haven't got looking what kind of actual Olympia typewriter this is.
SM4 wide carriage.
There we go. See? And then I got this, quad wheel deluxe.
Oh yeah.
One I really like that I got mainly for the color is this
Oh yeah.
green
Tree
Underwood.
bank. Underwood, yes.
Yeah, so
And you picked all those up in the last month?
Yeah, I kind of went crazy with it.
Yeah.
And got them all. I do have a question I wanted to ask you guys, the
Of course.
experts. I don't know. I've kind of cleaned a little. I have this this Hermes 3000.
Benchmark, yes.
So I've never really understood how the all the buttons work, but like whenever I like, it always stops at this point. And then when I like hit like I think it's the March release, it'll be able to keep going.
Okay.
Like
if you look at the red band in the paper bale, do you see the paper bale itself has the numbers, and there's like a red ribbon inside of it, a red indicator?
If you can show us the right end of the carriage.
On this one?
Yeah.
No, but Joe's got it. If the margin is set too close to the left.
Yeah.
So a simple fix: move the carriage to the right. Okay. No. There's the big white knob, the small white knob, and the little chrome lever.
Okay.
Okay. Pull the chrome lever forward with one finger. Then push a small white knob with the other finger, and hold the carriage so it doesn't jump away on you.
Yeah, you'll have to hold them at the same time.
Okay.
Now move the carriage to the left. Yeah, keep going, and you'll see that the red ribbon will stop in the middle.
Okay.
Oh, okay, now release. Okay, you have now reset the right margin.
Oh. Back over.
So try that again.
So Mark, there's a very cool little red ribbon indicator inside your paper bale. That'll tell you where your margins are set to in the future for reference.
Okay. Well, see, there we go. I've been trying to figure that out and haven't been able to jump on to ask you guys, but yeah. Well, that's,
so now to reset the margin to where you want it, insert your piece of paper, set the carriage to where you want the line to stop, then pull that small chrome lever forward, and the margin will set itself to that point.
oh, okay.
There you go.
Sweet.
I
Thank you.
highly recommend that you read the manual for any of the machines that you have. Read the owner's manual that are available online on Richard Polt's website.
Richard Polt's?
Yeah, website.
Have you found that, Mark? Xavier, it's the Typewriter Revolution. Just type in typewriter manuals on Google, and generally it'll come up. It'll be like Xavier something in the address, and there's manuals for like every typewriter since the 1800s. Just joking, but pretty close. And then that'll help you out. And if you need help specifically with that typewriter, Joe Van Cleve has done a lot of very cool videos on that particular kind of Hermes, and they're fun to watch, so you might learn a bit there too.
Okay, well, thanks, guys.
The tricky thing about those margins for those Hermes 3000s is most typewriters, the carriage release lever that moves the carriage manually is a lever, a chrome lever. But on those machines, the carriage release is the small white button. So you want to grab the knob, hold the carriage, and then push the small white button to manually move the carriage back and forth like this. If you pull the lever, you're setting the margin to wherever the carriage is at. And that's what happened on your machine in the past. Somebody set the margin in way far by pulling the lever. So if you want to manually move your carriage, push the little white button and hold it down, and you can manually move it between the margins.
Yeah, it's the opposite of what you would think it would be.
Yeah. And also the way William showed you works great, but you could also use both hands. You could with the left hand, hold the carriage knob, push the little white button, and then with the right hand, pull the margin and set it. Right. So it's a little easier, but you had your cell phone camera in your hand. I noticed you couldn't really use both hands. Anyways.
Yeah, if you're familiar with the magic margins of the Royal typewriters, it's the exact same thing. The exact same
Yeah,
thing.
he may not be familiar with that. The other thing you might have a question about is the 4 buttons up on the front of the typewriter on top of the keyboard. And the plus and minus are for setting and deleting a tabulator stop. And then there is the all clear, the tab clear, and then there's the margin release, which is what you were using to get past the right margin. And then there's also a backspace button. So, and those are all pretty much the same positions in all 3 generations of Hermes 3000.
Yeah, I like those big chunky buttons.
Yep.
All right, so you were talking about bringing a typewriter out, Joe, and what did you bring?
Oh yes, well this is the 1950 something or other electric.
5TE.
Yeah,
Oh,
5TE
lovely.
electric. We were talking with Eric very early in the meeting this morning, and Gregory had asked Eric if he's ever used an electric typewriter like these Type Bar electrics, and he said no, but he would like to get one. And so I said, well, I'll bring one out. This is probably, I think it's my favorite electric typewriter because they're the same footprint as the manual 5 Series Smith Corona. They're just a little taller. And so they're probably about the smallest Type Bar electric. I think a brother came out with some electric Type Bar machines in the 1970s. And they're probably a little bit shorter, but maybe a bigger footprint. But these are really nice. I really like them. You can still get some replacement belts, not the exact replacements, but you can find belts in hardware store like O-rings. And I think there's like McMaster Car or some of these places online that you may be able to find the replacement belts for, but they last a long time. And the platen roller in these electrics, it's the same platen roller as in the Smith, as in the Silent Supers, the manual 5 Series. So I literally can swap out this platen with the new one from JJ Short that's in my Silent Super if I want to use get a newer platen on it. I don't necessarily have to get a new platen on all my 5 Series typewriters since they're so easy to interchange, right?
Yeah.
A platen chain platen chain can literally be done in 30 seconds.
Yes. And so the thing I like about my camera, by the way, is fixed focus, so I can't really adjust it. But the thing I like about these electrics is the key travel. So you literally push it about 0.5 centimeter and it types, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost no force. You could literally type with a feather, like here's a piece of film, right? You can literally type with a pice of film. So, I mean, it takes no finger pressure at all. In fact, in some ways, you almost need something to support your hands, your wrists, because you find yourself, if you kind of lean on it a little bit, you'll find yourself hitting the keys too hard and maybe inadvertently typing a character you don't want to type. And then if you try hovering your hands, your arms above it, it kind of fatigues you. So sometimes it's almost nice to rest your arms on the table or something when you're using these. They're so easy to use. But,
so true. Now, Joe, does it have a touch control? I forget.
Yeah, it has yes. So it has an impression control. Let's see, there's this one up here. I always get these confused. I think the touch control is up here.
No,
and then there's maybe it's on the bottom. And then the other one is down here.
That's the touch control for how hard you have to press.
Right.
So on my 120 120, it was so turned to the maximum that it had kind of run off the thread. So I thought it was ineffective. I thought I was moving it. I said, it does nothing. Then I realized after being obstinate and continuing to turn that finally it engaged the thread. And then I sensed a difference of feel. And then I went to the maximum. And then you can actually have to press. So somebody that wants a.
Yeah, I might have mine set a little bit too light. One of the things about these, though, that is maybe the only downside of them is in maintaining these. With a manual typewriter, it's easy to test out your type bars to see if they're sticky, right? But on these electrics, you almost have to unplug the machine and then turn the pulley of the belt drive by hand, and then push the key to get it to lift the type bar to test it. So it's probably just a good idea to go ahead and flush the segment out with lacquer thinner and stuff, right? Just go ahead and do it and get it over with, rather than try to test it for stickiness, because you never can tell. And there's also something that Dwayne Jensen showed in one of his videos, is up here where the motor is in the back, there is a clutch mechanism for the motor, and those can get kind of gummy and need to be cleaned out and stuff. But so
when you turn it on, you should hear the motor spin up, and it'll take about a third of a second. Then you'll hear the clutch engage. Then you'll hear the rollers start turning.
Yeah, that's what this one does. I don't know if you can hear that. The little click noise is the clutch engagement.
And it's interesting, what the impression control does is to lift the variator up, which is the middle pulley, to increase the RPM of the drive roller, thus increasing the velocity of the type bars.
Right. So you have this intermediate pulley that really, by changing the length of the primary belt, you're kind of stretching the primary belt, and it kind of affects how much slippage there is, which in turn controls how much force the type bar hits with, right?
If you are familiar with the drive on the cylinder of a combine harvester, or the variable drive on a lawn tractor.
I was just doing that last week.
or a skidoo lister. You know, Joe would be familiar with that.
Yes, skidoo, snowmobile. The exact same concept, where you have two pulleys side by each, and the center sheave moves from side to side, effectively changing the diameter of one pulley over the other, changing your belt, driven belt to drive belt ratio.
So like a continuously variable transmission kind of idea.
Yes,
exactly.
CPT.
So one of the nice things about these electrics also is, in the wintertime, if your left hand is cold, you just put it right here, and it'll warm up your hands. You don't have to like stick your hands underneath your arms and stuff like that.
It's hard to type when you're doing that.
It is though, yeah.
That motor gets super hot. I'm surprised, doesn't it? Like old motors.
Yeah, you can clean those bushings out, clean the oil out of them, and re-lubricate the bushings on the motors. They're kind of like a what's called a shaded pole motor, right? They don't use brushes, most of these that I've seen. They're kind of like the motor you see in an electric fan, right? Where it has metal plates, and then there's a big copper wire strap wrapped around, and that's the shading coil that causes a phase shift and creates a rotating magnetic field.
It's an induction motor.
Yeah, and it's an induction motor, but it's a shaded pole. That's how they, instead of using multi-phase electricity, they can get a pseudo multi-phase effect with single-phase electricity by using a shading coil. Anyways, it's one of those weird motor things. But yeah, they're pretty simple. There's no brushes, but you do have to lubricate and clean the bushings if they get really hot.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, Joe, because I was worried on mine. It does get hot, and I was going like, oh my god, like what is going on? And maybe just too much resistance or something like that.
Yeah, and it also could be even the drive spindle, right, that actually actuates the levers. Just clean and lubricate the bearings on that also. It's hard to kind of diagnose it by hand, because it's hard to get a feel for how hard it is to turn, but yeah, these machines are pretty forgiving, because you can have some pretty sticky type bars and you won't really know it, because there's so much force imparted by the motor. It's sort of like typing at maximum force with a manual typewriter all the time. So it kind of, that excessive force kind of overcomes a lot of the problems you have with manual typewriters. But anyway, yeah, these are pretty cool machines. I think it would be my favorite machine of all if these 5 series, that is Smith Coronas, if it had half line spacing. That's the only thing I miss, is it doesn't have 1.5 line spacing. But other than that, they're pretty darn good.
Excellent.
Now, Joe, you mentioned like early in the early time of the meeting. So when do you start the meeting?
I was eating breakfast here on the table, and I think I turned on about 10 minutes before Gregory started it, which was 9 o'clock Pacific time, 10 o'clock Mountain time here.
Yeah, we started at 9, and Joe and Eric were the first ones in, and so we were talking about the electric type bars and yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And I had also mentioned that I have this little film camera, this little Zorky Russian made 1955. The thing about these Russian cameras is the first 2 numbers of the serial number is the year it was made. So it's easy to date it. But so I did put a couple videos about this camera on my YouTube channel, and someone commented my video and said it's a little bit bad timing because of the war in Ukraine and all that. And I said, well, I know that, but Vladimir Putin was 2 years old when this camera was made, and it's not the same regime, right? So and this was purchased from a US seller. In fact, I might have actually purchased the last Zorky 1 available on the US eBay, because all the others I saw are being sold by Russian sellers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But I would say to that, and although I'm appalled by the invasion of Ukraine, it has nothing to do, like your video has nothing to do with your endorsement or not.
Right. And in fact, the comment I made back to that person was that, does that mean we're going to have to give Alaska back to the Russians and ask for a refund?
No.
That was a different regime.
And the same can be said of German typewriters. Should be not have German typewriters that were produced in the time of the war or before the war.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I bought this from an American seller, so it wasn't supporting the current Russian regime. So anyway, but it's a very interesting historical artifact because they're basically a knockoff, a very close, identical to the original Leicas of the time, the thread mount Leicas. Even the extendable lens, the Industar lens, right, that collapses down. It's pretty cool. So anyways, I thought you guys might like that.
Yeah, interesting.
I have this one. It's Voshkov, if I remember.
Voshkov. Oh, interesting.
It's I don't
like
think
selenium light meter. Looks like on the left is a selenium light meter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's work. It works. I don't think it works. And no, that's all. I don't have my Zenith, but I love Zenith, but I don't have it. I have just a little question about my Remington travel. I have a quartz, not QWERTY. It's a quartz, and it is normal to have these 2 letters.
That is a German keyboard.
Le machine d'écrire allemande.
Ah, okay. From Germany?
Yeah.
No, but
okay.
German market, at least.
Made in Holland for the German market.
But this one I can't choose because the F is stuck.
Christophe?
Yeah?
Show the right-hand side of the keyboard.
The right-hand side, yeah.
Non, the keyboard. Montre-nous le clavier au complet. Le clavier.
But
les touches à droite.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but for me, it's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the umlaut.
Yep. German
keyboard.
It's quartz here, and it's funny.
Yeah.
on my my over Remington, I have some special yeah.
Oh, fractions. Yeah.
Yes. It's very fun. Really, a lot of options. I have to read the manual to know all about this typewriter because I have too many functions, and but it's clearly whoa. Come here. A very, very, very clean very, very clean machine. I love it.
Nice.
And I will watch you the plate because I said she has a plate here, just here. Armée française, French Army.
Wow.
Market number. It's about the national market. Year 1961.
Wow, that's so cool.
Oh, cool.
And made in France. I don't know why I have a made in
Nice.
France.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Christophe, I have a French typewriter to show you.
Yeah. I will.
This,
Yeah. Okay.
this is a
Ooh.
MJ Roy. And this is one of the flattest typewriters ever made.
Wow.
And it opens up, flips around like that.
Insane.
And it is a Azerte
Yeah. Azerte.
French keyboard. So, yes.
It's very plate. It's incredible.
Yeah. MJ Roy. They also marketed them as Roxy, I think.
And it's a French brand.
Yeah, it's made in France and very interesting.
I don't
typewriter.
remember French brand.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the French brand.
Well, you know, those Hermes 3000s that you showed me, the square ones are made in France also.
Mm.
So
And that's the typewriter you keep on your bookshelf, right?
that's right behind me on the bookshelf. It's
But
a
with the
bookshelf
binder.
typewriter.
Yeah.
It's like a laptop,
Yes.
computer
Yeah, it
laptop.
is. Those are amazing. Now, of course, you said it's not the best typer, right?
Not the best typer, and
Yeah.
it needs a new platen, obviously, and the platen is really skinny in diameter, so it's not really good for postcards either. But it's kind of like a Hermes Rocket or Baby in its kind of feel, you know.
Yeah. But the coolness factor makes up for everything.
It
'cause
does.
that typewriter is so cool. I would
Yeah.
love to have one of those.
Yeah, this is more of a novelty machine,
Yeah.
right? But it's still kind of fun.
Yeah.
And the original plastic handles always are shot or broken, and so I just made a brass one by soldering together some brass parts that I had.
Nice.
So those are always the weak spot on that typewriter.
Yeah.
And Joe, did you find that locally for you?
No, this was actually my friend Kevin found two of these on European eBay and ordered them a couple years ago. So
Now, how does yours type in comparison to his?
I think mine's in a little bit better shape, actually.
Okay.
But I've done a little work to it. He has so many typewriters, he doesn't have time to work on them all. So, now that he's retired, maybe he'll have more time. But
Okay. And we actually haven't seen him in a video in a long time.
no, they're in the process of moving up to Idaho. So he's been out of town a lot, going to and from. And so actually, we're going to be meeting them later today for lunch. But yeah, we haven't had a video in a while. Hopefully we will eventually. So
Yeah.
and when I retire at the end of this year, maybe it'll give me an opportunity to get on the road and visit him up in Idaho when he moves up there eventually. So
Yeah. You could do some videos on the road.
yes, well, in fact, we have plans for doing road trips together with typewriters and stuff, you know, so that'll be fun.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yep.
Excellent. All
Now, I
right.
trust that's going to be a road trip and not a road test.
Well, we don't plan on throwing any typewriters.
Good.
No, but there's a lot of cool places to visit in the Western US, you know, little towns and funky little places like that are fun.
Joe, while you're on the screen, quick question. Have you ever heard of the term fornix? Fornit.
Fornit, yeah, I don't know what it means though. I don't know what that is. I've heard of it.
Okay, it seems to be a kind of a mythical little elf that lives inside a typewriter, and you have to keep him satiated by dropping crumbs from your sandwiches down between the keys.
Oh yeah, of course. We do that with
And-
computer keyboards also.
Yes, and if you don't keep them fed, they'll mess up the internals of your typewriter.
Yes, like my little mechanical keyboard, you have to turn it upside down and shake the crumbs out
Yeah.
once in a while. Anyway, that's true.
That's funny. All right. Well, thanks for showing that, Joe. It's always fun seeing that typewriter.
All right, thank you.
Sean, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Excellent.
I
What do you have
miss
today?
everybody. Sorry?
What do you have
Oh,
today?
royal.
I've got I bought another gold broil.
I think you have an addiction now.
Yeah, I haven't seen a doctor yet, and I'm okay with not seeing a doctor yet. So
Now, when you're alone
Which
with
is
your
real gold.
yeah, this is 18 karat. So my 1948 is 24 karat, and it's all gold. But it wore very quickly, I think, as they found, and they realized it just wasn't practical to put 24 karat gold on a typewriter. So this was the next iteration. They dumbed down the gold to 18 karat, added all the black lacquer accents, which I think makes it look like a much better typewriter anyway. Very attractive. This is the model that Ian Fleming bought back in the day after Casino Royale was released as his first book. So this was, this is not his typewriter. And this one's got FED. So oftentimes somebody could opt to have this plate put up here where it would normally say quiet deluxe, and then have their initials or their name engraved on it. So if you look for these online, you'll find a lot of them with people's full names or initials or whatever the case may be. I don't know who this person was. The person I got it from, his mother bought it in 1969 and had it all the way up until just recently. So she gave it to him when she retired, and then he just basically had it on display and typed every once in a while, like every couple of years, just to make sure it worked. And then I got it. So I don't know what happened between 1949 and 1969, but it came from somewhere. It came from Tennessee. But this is the thing now. Typewriters seem to stay at home back in the day, but nowadays they move because Eric's displaced a typewriter from Indiana. This one's to Canada now, so yeah, they're all
exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's actually a super good typewriter. And the other difference was they actually gold plated the rings, the key rings.
Yes.
Oh wow.
You saw that.
Which is like, but they actually haven't worn, which is, I'm sort of surprised. So I'm not sure if it's lesser gold or something like that, and it's just a little more strong compared to the other gold. Anyway, yeah, it works good. It was all not seized up. It hadn't been oiled in a very long time, but I didn't really want to do a lot of oiling, so just a bit of a machine oil in a couple of very select spots in the escapement. And yeah, works fine, works great. Put a new ribbon in it, and yeah, it's enjoyable. I just need new feet because they're all falling apart.
Do you ever refer to it as my precious?
My precious. If I keep doing what I'm doing right now, Greg, either I'm not going to have a retirement, and I'm going to be like Gollum in my dark basement. I've changed my collecting game, but I can't. That's not sustainable. It means fewer typewriters over a longer period of time. Is really what it means. So
yeah.
A question for Sean. So are the gold models all from the same era and the same model as well? How this is like a 48 or 49 KL.
Yeah.
Like, did they continue making the gold much later or not?
They did. They made it into the next body style, the one with the little wings on the front by the ribbon selector and all that.
Yeah.
They did that one in the black and gold as well, so you can find that one. and they did the one just after that when they dropped the wings, the 55, 6, 7 model. And then after that, I think it was all done. They didn't produce them at all anymore. I've never seen a gold one in anything after the Royal Quiet Deluxe was ended in 1958.
Now, I was under the impression that the gold ones were brought out as a 50th anniversary of the company itself.
I think maybe the originals were. I mean, you know, Royal was 1904, so 1954 was the 50th anniversary, but the first golds came out in 1948 as all gold.
Okay.
So yeah, for whatever reason, I don't remember the whole story there. There was an earlier gold Royal KMM that was all gold plated, but that was just before the war, I think. And they used that as a way for all the employees to sign it to give it to an outgoing president. And then I think somebody went, oh, you know, that'd be a good idea. Maybe we should make that and sell that to the public. And then after the war, they did.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's my high-class, highfalutin typewriter.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And how is everything else with you?
Yeah, good. I haven't, haven't had anything untoward happen. I've just been doing a type bar replacement surgery on one of my other typewriters that's kept me up till 2 a.m. last night, which actually was 3 a.m. because of time change. So
yeah,
I'm a real crazy monster. But yeah, no, other than that, you know, work's good. The usual SNA restrictions have all been lifted now, and now once that all happened, here we are in a war situation. Well, not us, but them, but you know, who knows? So, you know, the world's never a dull place. I'll tell you that. We could never
exactly
go back to normal. But thankfully, we have typewriters to talk out our stress and frustration.
Yes.
Like my wife saw a meme on, I think it was Facebook. COVID now says you can go anywhere. Gas prices say like heck you can.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was going to make a joke when Eric was unboxing his typewriter and say, when he said what he spent on that typewriter, I said, yeah, typewriter prices are like gas prices right now. They just keep going up.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a fad. The prices are going to drop after COVID's gone and after, you know.
And has anybody noticed that the price at the pumps goes up within hours of the price of oil going up, but when the price of oil goes down, it takes up to 30 days for that cheap oil to get through to the pumps.
Yeah. Something fishy going on there.
I believe it's called gouging.
Yeah.
If you saw how much the government taxed on every part of the process of oil from the ground into your car, like from when it comes out to when it gets refined to when it gets shipped to when it gets received to when it gets put into your car, they tax gas like 6-7 times in the whole supply chain process. So there's the first problem right there. And yes, the second problem is then prices seem to take a while to come down after oil goes down, but there's no problem going up.
Yeah.
And I even when I was pumping gas back in the early 1980s, they were saying that for every $20 you spend at the pump, $16 of that is taxed.
Wow.
Yeah. So now chances are it's even more.
I don't know why
I'll let other people talk. I'll shut up.
Anyway, that's it. That's it for me, Gregory. And just while I've got you, hope everything is well with you. We're sorry we missed you, and of course, things always seem to happen in threes when they happen, right? So
yeah,
it's really sad to have a bunch of stuff all hit you, and I hope it's all okay. You look good though, so
thank you. Yes, much better.
Same wishes, good wishes when you're ready.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
How's your dad faring there, by the way?
He, you know, because he actually got COVID before me, and you know, I actually got it from him. But he was asymptomatic, so as far as the COVID, he was fine.
Okay.
And he did surprisingly well in the fall. He scratched up his arm, but he's, considering he's 86, he's very resilient. So yeah, so it was a huge load off my mind to not have to really worry about him, you know. So then I could just focus on getting better, and yeah. So
So I have my type prompt for when all introductions and other chat have done.
Okay.
So let's carry on.
Yes, yes. All right. And I do see Joe is showing another typewriter. You want to tell us about this typewriter?
Oh
Joe?
yeah, so this is the 6 series SCM electric type bar machine. This is branded as a Singer, and it is the standard 10-inch carriage rather than the 12-inch. This is kind of my favorite size for the 6 series. You know, the Galaxy 12s are kind of common. I don't see as often the narrower carriages. I really like the narrower carriages though. So this is a nice machine. I kind of like the styling of it. It's obviously a little more modern looking than the 5 series. It has that, you know, fold out ribbon cover thing that I'm not really super crazy about because it kind of gets in the way of working with the ribbon spools. But you know, it is what it is. But this one actually types really well. In fact, I think it types a little nicer than the 5 series machine. It just happens to be this one maybe is a little bit cleaner or whatever. But I like the color of it. You know, it has this kind of silverish, shiny front panel and the yellow bezel on the keyboard. And then the power cords on these are always pretty bad, right? And I replace this with a cloth covered cord just to make it look a little nicer. So yeah, but these are nice machines, especially the narrower kind.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, but it reminds me of banana cream pie. I don't
banana cream pie, exactly. Everything comes back to desserts, doesn't it?
Yeah,
of course.
Absolutely.
And yeah, let's see. So again, the same touch action. You barely move it, like about 5 millimeters, and boom, right? Very easy to touch, easy to hit. Has the same kind of impression control and touch control.
Impression control. All the way around.
Yeah, other way around, right? So copy set is up here, and this is touch control down.
Yeah, there you go.
Space bar. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, nice machine.
It's a great brand, Sinja.
And this one has the change of type on the 1 key. So you could, if you can find a change of type, little slugs and keycaps, you could collect those. There's people that collect them. So that is one thing about this that you could do, which I haven't really gotten into, but that might be kind of fun.
I have the international set.
The international set?
Yes, with the accent marks.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have a question for you, Joe, regarding the Platen. I have the I also have this right here. Here's my my
Galaxy,
machine.
yeah.
Oh, yes, the 120.
120, yeah.
Electro
and,
120.
Right. So my machine, the Platen seems to hit really hard, and I got it recovered by JJ Short, and it still hits really hard, even if I have it set on the lightest touch. So why is that?
Because it's very strong.
Yeah, my Galaxy Deluxe does the same thing. I got it recovered by JJ Short, and it still hits really hard.
You know what works as a backing sheet is to use a piece of construction paper, trim it down from 9x12, trim it down to letter size if you need to, but it can help a little bit. But these machines did hit hard. They were designed for sort of personal use, but also office use, and maybe people using carbon copies. They were always on the harder side of the firmness, you know. It's just the way the drive belt is. It's sort of like hammering on a manual typewriter with maximum force all the time. That's the way these machines work. Because
yeah,
of the way
I found the period in mine still pokes through the paper, even though I have it recovered. But what I did was I took a little piece of it's like a soundproofing tape, but I imagine duct tape or something similar would work. But I put it like right over the anvil where the period strikes, and that kind of like cushions it a little bit. I had to kind of experiment with it a little bit because it I put on a couple sheets of the tape, and I kind of like added sheets until it stopped, and then at some point I got it to where it was just like making it skip, and that wasn't working. But eventually I got it to where it cushions it now, and it works perfectly, and it doesn't poke a hole through the paper anymore. And it was only doing with the period. So
you're referring to this crescent-shaped piece that the foot of the type bar strikes right in here.
Yep.
That it touches. And yeah, if you like you're saying, you could put a little bit of tape in there to help limit how far the type slug hits the platen, kind of offset it a little bit from the platen slightly. And there could be, I mean, a lot of these typewriters had, and I'm not familiar with the 6 series enough, but a lot of them had kind of a what is it called?
Ring and cylinder adjustment.
Ring and cylinder adjustment. Thank you. Yeah. And so I don't know if these 6 series have that or if it was just preset. I'm not really sure. But
yeah, I had wondered about that too, because I think I had brought that up at an earlier type meeting like months ago when Ted was on, and he said that something about plates, and that was how you adjusted the ring and cylinder, and I couldn't figure out anything.
Shims. I think he's talking about like shim plates. Yeah,
right.
Which you're probably effectively doing that by adding tape to it. That's probably what you're doing. So the answer, Mary, is that you may have to get some sticky tape and put it in that little crescent shaped area where the foot of the type slug hits, and try to work on that. You could also even find really thin sheet brass that you can find in hardware stores and cut a little piece of brass and glue it in there, or tape it in there also, just to cushion it and make a little bit less of an impact.
Yeah, I think for me, these are excellent suggestions. What I do is I put 3 sheets of paper. If I'm typing on a letter, and I just select 3 sheets out of my pack, and I put it through, and then it's a bit quieter. It helps a little bit. But you're right that it's loud. First of all, it's a louder typewriter to type with than a manual. I find generally. Yeah.
All right. And how are you, Daniel?
Oh, I'm good, thank you. I was hearing you about COVID. Like my wife and I had COVID as well, and because we had the booster shot, I think we had less symptoms. But we're finding that it lasts a long time. That's what, and we're reading about it, and it seems like it's not like a flu or a cold. When you're done, you're done. This there's still some kind of effects, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks into it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what you've experienced too. But anyway, but we're fine, and just the spring is coming soon. It's always a big thing for us. We had a lot of snow. New snow has fallen, but when the days start getting to above freezing temperature, it seems like we revive. We get we rejoice in the spring, and there's a particularity of certainly this region of the North America Northeast where there's maple syrup is made in this period of the year. It's always that kind of an event. It's kind of I'd say culturally it can bring back good memories and things like that. So it corresponds with the end of the winter and the coming of the summer, and getting out and going out and sugaring, collect sap from the trees and make maple syrup. So it's kind of fun event to do. And so on and so forth. And I actually found, I haven't worked on it, but I found quite a peculiar typewriter, to me anyway, but I don't think they're that rare. And it's a Maritza 22 made in Bulgaria. And it was made by Typeworks, and it's, according to what I read, and a lot of good, knowledgeable people like Ted Monk and others have written about that. It's like a Princess 300 or something. Like the Princess 300 stopped being made in Germany, and in Bulgaria they might have bought the machinery or just the patents or both, and the manufacturing moved to Bulgaria. And so on the outside, it's a bit clunky. It's not as refined. It doesn't look as nice. The paint job is not as very good, but the mechanism is apparently the same. and it's a small one. It's like a letter 32 size, different height and different width, but it's still a very small portable that seems to be like a very convenient. People would have that. So that's the first actually typewriter that I bought online, and I had delivered home. And when it arrived, there was something wrong. The carriage moving left, and it's a carriage shift. It was hitting the shell, the metal shell of the body at one point, and it was a small adjustment. The screw for the shifting, like the lowest point of the shifting, was off on the left-hand side, because when I had it on shifted, it could move left and right, no problem. But in lowercase, it would block. It would hit the shell, and it's like, well, what's going on there? And then how long has that been happening? And the seller swore that it used to work before she shipped it, but I have some doubts because there's some wear marks on the left-hand side. Anyway, I think I've started adjusting that by I did a quick adjustment, and then now the uppercase letters are typing higher than the lowercase letters. So I think there's going to be some adjustment here, although you have to adjust that other thing, and then you have to work a little bit back and forth until you get it all lined up. But it wasn't very expensive typewriter, and shipping was affordable. So it being local, like I said, in Canada, it was quite affordable, and so I look forward to it. The inside, I'm gonna need to do some work. The foam kind of sound deadening stuff is crumbling. It's now falling apart.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna pull all that, and I think I'm gonna put something like cork, like self-adhesive cork or something like that. I'm gonna try that. Or
Yeah.
I could use felt, but what I don't like about felt is I think felt will shed a little bit its fibers, and then it's going to go into the mechanism. But I think that cork is going to stay together a bit longer. I don't know. Maybe in 20 years it's going to crumble and everything, but I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know Ted Monk has done a lot with dampening the sound in his
brother
JP1s. Yeah.
So I saw that, right? So I saw that he did that. So it inspired me to be able to do the same thing as he did.
Yeah.
And actually thinking about brother and Ted Monk, I also found some time ago a brother typewriter close to my house, like basically 2 minutes away from me. And it was a rare model that I had never seen. And it said, I found out later after research, it's a JP3 model, JP3 type, which they didn't make for very long, apparently. And it's a bigger brother. It's more like a desk than true. It's a portable, right? But it's like a heavier portable than the other brothers. And surprisingly, it's more difficult. The touch is a bit like more. You need to really press on your keys to get it in. So it's a little bit off of. I have a P7, which is super smooth. The typing action is great, but that JP3, although it's in a really good condition, it's really, really nice, and has some features that aren't on the other brothers, like the paper autoloader. Like you have a little handle like you have on a
paper injector.
Yeah, paper injector. Thank you, May. The paper injector. So you put a sheet in and you pull that little lever, and it feeds your paper. It has more of the those kind of advanced features for maybe more convenience. So it's very nice for that.
Yeah. Just takes a heavy hand, right?
Heavy hand, you're right. So it's the opposite of the electric that we've been talking about since from the beginning. This one is going to the gym in terms of you're going to stretch.
All right, let me do my stretching.
You use the JP3 to get your hands stronger, your fingers.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I have to leave in about 5 minutes for another function, but I really appreciate seeing you again.
Of course.
Saying hello to everyone. It's good to see everyone, and keeping good spirits.
Yes.
Good seeing you, Daniel.
Yeah. All right. And Mary Beth, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm just not doing a whole lot of typing other than doing correspondence for Type Pals. So just having fun with that. And I'm still focused on the electric typewriters. I just find them easier to use. I mean, from a writing perspective, I find the manuals hard on the hands, and they're just slow to respond to my thoughts. So I really like the electric. So I could talk, I think the electrics, I think that's something that I would focus on. I would love to have like the one that Joe has, that one Smith Corona electric with the red logo. I've had my eye on something like that, but I've never managed to acquire one. But I would love to have one like that, because I just like the aesthetics of it, and I like electric typewriters.
Yeah, those are really nice machines, certainly.
Yep. Yeah, I was close to getting one of those at an antique shop, and I asked to try it out, and so he plugged it in and turned it on, and it started making this horrible sound, and I was like, okay, I'll pass on that one.
It was probably just the drive belt. You probably could have easily fixed the noise issue if you had just addressed it.
It sounded much worse than just the belt. I mean, it was like a loud, like knocking sound. So I don't know what that was.
It could have been that one of the type R linkages is so gummed up that it's not releasing completely, and so the little actuator on the linkage that engages the spindle, right, when you press the key, it could be just hitting the spindle, not releasing back up, something like that.
Yeah.
I think I'm with Mary Beth. It's probably worth getting. I mean, it depends how cheap it is, but you know.
Yeah, unfortunately, this was a while back now, and that place has actually permanently closed. So the chance is gone.
Oh well.
Yeah. What was that you were showing, William?
That is the repair and adjustment manual for the 6, 7, 8 series Smith Corona electric typewriters. That is the dual belt system that drives your drive roller from the motor clutch to your dual belt variator pulley down to your drive roller for your keyboard, for your type bars.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What book is that?
This one is actually for the cartridge typewriters, but I think a lot of it is still similar.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And earlier on, we were talking about the ring and cylinder, and
it mentions that in there.
Right there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how clear that is. That if you lift the type bar up and push it against this part here is called the ring. It's the ring of anvil that the type bars hit. Then your platen is called the cylinder. So your clearance between the type slug and the cylinder, as you're holding the type bar against the ring, should be 29 to 38 thousandths of an inch.
Wow.
Or 0.74 to 0.97 millimeter.
And the trick with the electrics is getting the type bar held up against the platen manually.
Yeah.
To do that, you have to take the case off so you can get to the pulley and sort of drive the motor manually with it unplugged and try to get it to actuate the lever far enough where you can move it by hand, but it's kind of tricky.
because the typewriter itself is only driven about 2/3 of the travel. The other third is purely momentum carrying it to the platen. And so by increasing your impression control, you increase the RPM of the drive roller, so the typewriter gets thrown with a higher velocity.
Interesting. Very cool. Well, thank you for showing that, William. And
Can I ask a question?
yes.
This is Theresa, my first time joining. But
Hi,
where,
Theresa.
thanks. Where would you get a new drive belt for these electric typewriters? I specifically have one of the Smith Corona's 5 LTEs. And it's making horrible noises, and I think it's just because the drive belt is completely warped.
Very good question.
I've used some O-rings at the plumbing section of the hardware store. I think they're black synthetic rubber. They're an 1/8-inch diameter, and I think roughly 1/8-inch thick. I think the one that's 4 inches in diameter, if I'm not mistaken, is about the right size.
I have
Yeah.
a package.
And now the original belts are square cross section, but I found the
agree.
round ones tend to work okay.
The original belts were V belts.
V belts, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I bought this. Oh, I don't know if it's the same for the 5 series, but these are for the 6 series, and it's a O-ring set from. Oops, sorry. O-ring set. I got it either Lowe's or Home Depot. I can't remember which one, but the ones I had it marked on the ones that you want, because you might be able to buy the.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no shop that sells those V belts anymore, so you have to make do with these plumbing O-rings in most
Probably
cases.
custom order them, but they would be very expensive, you know.
But you have to take the machine.
Here. So these are the sizes. I don't know if you can see on the screen, but these
Okay,
are
yeah,
the
I can see
sizes. The 2 that I circled. Those are the 2. Now this is for the 6 series. So I'm not sure if the 5 series belts are the same size, shape, but you can get these O-ring sets at hardware stores, and you might just have to try a few to see which ones work.
Yep.
Since you have to take the machine apart anyways, just take one of the old belts up with you and try to match up the size.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Not really. All you have to do is to remove the ribbon cover and then press down on the center pulley. Both belts will loosen up. Take off the secondary pulley, which goes from the intermediate to the drive roller. Then you can take off the primary belt that goes from the drive roller to the starter motor. That's the starter motor, drive motor.
It's just no fun doing it that way without taking the body off. It's tough to get it in there.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, hopefully that's a good option for you there, Theresa.
Yeah, I mean, anything would be good.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking to you and you're new, did you just want to give us a brief introduction to yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Theresa Carabao. I go by TC a lot, so that's what I signed up for on signed up as on TypePals. I am a recovering scientist, so I've been a working professional scientist for almost 30 years now. My latest gig was in infectious diseases. So
well, that's pretty apropos for what's
exactly
right.
Yeah. So I didn't do COVID. I actually did MRSA. I've recently left my job just to take a break. So, but my company has, or my old company now has a drug in phase 3 to fight bacteremia. So, and it's been a really rewarding kind of a job, because I've met some patients that took our drug under a compassionate use program, and they were literally at death's door and they were saved. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, including a 5-month-old
Oh, wow.
baby. So,
My goodness.
It's amazing.
yeah.
Makes him work.
Yes, well, it seems to. We don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see once we have. I'm speaking like a scientist, so we'll see once we have all the data completed. So it's been a really stressful experience. So I just needed a break, and actually that's how I got into typewriters, because I started writing letters to everybody during COVID. And then I'm like, yeah, my handwriting sucks. I better do my friends a favor and start writing these. So I tried. I love stationery. I have all these different stationery, and trying to feed them through a printer was such a hassle, and trying to get them to print properly, that I'm like, I'm just gonna go buy a typewriter. And one typewriter turned into 2, turned into 6.
They do.
As we all do.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I actually have a Smith Corona, a Sterling 5AX that I would like to unload because I have too many typewriters, and my husband is basically like, you are occupying every single horizontal surface with typewriters and typewriter parts in the apartment. I live in New York City, so our apartment's small.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested, it's 100% working, new platen from JJ Short. So
Teresa, why are you getting rid of the 5AX? Because that is one of the best of the pinnacle of the 5 series Smith Coronas.
yeah, it's because I prefer Olympias.
Oh,
I
okay.
like
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
So, Teresa, there's a type pal, Matthew Chavan, that he lives in New York. He's in Brooklyn. You could be reaching out to him to see if he'd be interested. That way you don't have to worry about shipping it and everything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start taking notes now.
Get your typewriter out. Note.
Or if you're willing to wait until June of next year, I'll be photographing a wedding down there.
Well, if I have no takers, I might still have it by then. So.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing to do is to go onto TypePal's website, log in, and then go onto the member directory, then do a quick search for New York and find anybody else who lives in New York.
Yeah, that's a great idea, William.
Yeah.
That'll be a starting. That'll be a starting point.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I had thought of posting it on the member forum, and I was just going to take some pictures so everybody can see what it looks like. It's cute. It's like light blue, and
the
it's
light
a cute
blue
little
one.
typewriter. And I bought it because it was cute, and I'm like, oh, I should try a Smith Corona. But after typing with it, and I learned on an Olympia, and so I have a bias towards it.
Yep.
That happens.
Well, there'll definitely be takers for it, because the 5AX is a great typewriter, and that baby blue color, people like that.
That's kind of like saying, well, I learned to drive in a Mercedes, so the Chevrolet didn't feel quite the same.
The switches are in different spots, William. The windshield wiper fluid.
Yeah. That's funny.
Well, I learned to drive on a Honda, but I learned how to drive a stick shift on a 66 Camaro SS.
Oh, man.
Right.
Excellent.
Wow.
Those things are heavy. And on the hills in San Francisco, they're dangerous if you can't get the clutch engaged right
Those
away.
starts,
They
yeah.
start going backwards.
Oh my goodness.
I actually hit a Jaguar behind me for like my second time driving. And so after that, I think I ran a red light so I wouldn't have to stop on.
Oh.
There you go.
I know I did come up behind one vehicle that had a fairly big sign in the rear window. This is a stick shift. Stay back, I might roll back.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Theresa. And I hope you join us again in the future.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Let's see. Diane, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing fine, thank you.
That's good. Anything new?
Yeah, shouldn't be, but yeah.
Right.
There we go. Here's some.
Hey,
new.
another mug.
Nice.
Well,
It arrived yesterday or day before.
Cool.
Mail is obviously improving then, because that's much quicker than things have been traditionally.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like I need another one.
I know, right?
I can't talk.
I have this one. I think I have it. Yes, I have this one.
But it's missing a foot. There we go.
Oh.
On
Rubber foot. Yeah.
this side.
A little
And
lopsided.
I think it's missing some screws. I thought it was missing some screws, but I'm not sure.
It's like all of us here.
Missing
We
a
have
few
screws loose
screws.
anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it over to the shop tomorrow and confirm yes or no, because I just managed to get the flipping back on, so to speak. I'm looking at it and it's like, wait a second, you do this and you pop it on and there you go. But it's definitely missing a foot. Maybe they'll have a spare foot.
Hopefully they won't charge you an arm and a leg.
No, actually, they don't charge me as late. No, they don't charge me as late for stuff like this.
Or a foot.
No, they really don't.
And just make sure you don't give the machine 2 left feet.
Actually, they don't charge me for very much at all. I can't complain about that.
Your quantity. You're all about quantity. You're all.
I am. I actually do have. I have quite a few machines over there right now, and
They're like, oh, it's Diane. She's got another machine.
well, it's I have that Underwood 3 with the double Gothic. It's got a spring loose in a very inconvenient place, and I tried to reach under there with a one of those grabber hooks, and yeah, I was able to pull it out, but I'm not sure. I think maybe the spring broke at some point, and I simply cannot get it out such that it could rehook, if you know what I mean. And it's that bit where right by the bit that you turn for the ribbon reverse on the I'm watching May. The ribbon reverse on the wherever the little handle is. I think it's on the right. But anyway, it's kind of what makes those two, whatever they are, things in the back, things underneath there hook on and actually help the drive system go, and it's not going.
This is a full-size Underwood 3 standard, Diane, not a Underwood 3 bank.
Yeah, it's an Underwood 3
okay.
standard. Sorry, I'll switch rooms.
Oh, sorry.
Darn, you're making me get up and move.
Sorry.
Don't make me show typewriters. No, you're making me show typewriters.
Well, that's okay. I wouldn't do it other than for you guys,
All right.
We appreciate it.
Show us your typewriters.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
So,
Ooh,
Oh,
so
love it.
number 3.
there you, the type, it's that double Gothic. The guy actually advertised it as rare mill. It's like, well, when I saw that, no. But
You know
the
better.
part that's having the issue is this right
Oh,
here. There's a little itty bitty spring that you can get to going through here and into there. There's a spring under there. I saw it. I had it in my garage one night, and I took a powerful flashlight, and I was looking in there, and I saw it, the spring sitting here on the base here, and I'm like, what the heck? Well, no wonder that thing's not working. It's like, okay, I see. Well, and I got one of those grabber hooks and really couldn't get it to work. For me, I don't have the skill or the technique to get in under there. And it's like, yeah, I could pull it out, but I figure, by the time I pull it out much more, it's not going to be worth a crap. And it's going to be worse off than it was before.
Oh.
So, it's like, stop. Stop before I screw it up even more. And take it to the guys that really do know what they're doing when they're working with a spring in a place like this. It's like, I don't know if you have to take the whole thing apart to get at it or what.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of above my pay grade.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice machine. It's kind of funny. I have an Underwood 3 with a black keyboard, and the other one I have has a white keyboard.
Ah.
Is that one in the other room?
No, actually, it's over here on a chair.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, keep making me get up.
I'm just joking. You don't have to do it. I was just joking, Diane. Don't do
I
it.
have 2 LC Smith 8s that are like this too. One has.
Oh yeah.
One
decals
has,
are really good on that one.
huh?
The decals are good on that one.
Yeah. This
yeah.
one is.
Oh yeah, that's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the camera.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of dirty. It's kind of dirty though. I haven't put in a whole lot of cleaning time in on these because I get them in the winter, and I need, weather. I think the weather's finally turning so that it will be decent, meaning it's actually getting warm again. Yes, hello, sweetie. And maybe I could go out in the garage, and I cleaned it enough to get it moving and to be usable. But is that a thorough cleaning? Probably not. It was one of these, it warmed up for a day. Go out there and turn on the compressor and blow it out, and get some stuff in there to kind of clean it out. And I don't know that I will ever have a gleaming machine like I see all of you guys have. I'm so envious, but I don't know. I just don't. I'm not willing to put in the work because I have so much other work to do.
That's okay.
It's like I saw your picture last night, and I'm like, dang, I wish I had the courage to actually do that. But I don't know. I am just not up to the cleaning job, I suppose.
Well, if I ever visit, I'll clean all your type bars and polish the lacquer. That's what friends do.
Boy, that'd be a tall one.
Yeah.
I'm not on every typewriter. I might just pick one.
Yeah, there you go.
Just your favorite ones, right?
Yeah.
The ones you like.
Yeah.
Ours too.
Well, it's like right now I have a Smith Premier 3 whose line spacer, it's stuck on double space. I'm sure it will move, but I haven't been able to get it to move, and I have not forced the matter. The escapement seems to go a little slow on that one, and I've cleaned the bejesus out of it, but it still wants to go slow for some reason. Maybe it's the mainspring and the little knob that you use to turn. I can't turn it. It's kind of seized up, and I've got another one that's like that, and it's like, okay. So it's like, I don't know what to clean, what to go there with, with the, as far as cleaning goes. I don't know what the best thing is to get in there, and because it's in kind of a area. Well, there is some paint near it. Turn the computer, it's easier. So there is some paint there, but this knob is not going to turn worth a hoot.
Wow.
Because there's the mainspring. So I haven't really done much with this. It's like I was able to, I fiddled with it enough to get a type sample. I cleaned up some of the chrome. That looks nice. And surprisingly, these two machines on the desk currently, they both survived being shipped to me, and that was kind of a minor miracle.
Oh yeah.
I even have a case for that Smith Premier 3. There's the lid for it.
Oh wow.
I've never seen a case for, or a lid for one of the wider carriage ones. It's like, oh well, that's neat.
Yeah.
So could a loose drawband, or if you tighten the drawband, could that help?
Well, I on that one, if the knob would move, I would give it a shot. But right now, the knob to actually do that is seized. There's a knob that actually turns, and that tightens the drawband.
Wow.
But the knob itself is seized. I've got that on another one, and it's like, I haven't really made a decision as to what I want to try. I guess I could start at the bottom and try, mineral spirits to get in there and see if it'll loosen it up, or
maybe you can hold it on its side so gravity will help it.
Yeah.
When you tie it.
Well, I'll show you what it's doing. The wonders of not having it blocked by anything. Now watch it actually move. That's kind of slow. And this is just hitting the space bar. You see what I mean?
Wow.
It is slow. It's just probably gunked up, needs to be cleaned, lubricated, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm gonna try some more now that it's actually getting warmed up. And I also want to get this thing, if I can, I want to get this thing loose. This is like, it's a touch control.
Oh wow.
Yeah, not a lot. I have not seen very many of those. I've seen it in the manual.
Right.
But it's the first one I've had that actually had that. So it's kind of like the bell on this one. Most of them I've seen it this way on the back. This one's at 90 degrees. And it's 90. Most of the ones, the bell is here. And now this is turned this way, and the clapper is on the outside.
Huh. Is that the original bell?
As far as I know, yeah.
Pretty shiny.
Yeah.
Well, I shined it up.
Oh, okay.
I can't resist. I can't resist a nice shiny bell.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's like one of my favorite parts too.
It is, and they sound so great.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could record that for my phone bell.
That's a great idea.
Pavlov's dog.
Yeah.
Ted, we need to get Ted on that. Typewriter ringtones. Hey, that's a thing.
There you go.
I have a question about my Underwood. I have this part totally rust. It's under near the. No, I don't know if you can watch. This part is totally rust, and I have a hole here, just here. It's I don't know if I clean this machine or if I keep the machine like this and I don't touch. I don't know if I will make the work because it's a lot of work. This Underwood is totally functional, but I have some rust parts, a little bit rust part, but this one is the most attacked. I have a big hole here, but come here. It's my Underwood 11 with French plates, French importation, and I don't know if I will clean this one or if I will keep in this condition and charge another one in better condition. It's a lot of work now to clean this machine.
I've never seen 5 full rows before.
Yeah, you have a lot of decimal tabulators up top.
Yeah, that's a special one. That's nice.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's worth giving it a try, I would think.
Sorry.
I mean, you can see the bottom. I've turned mine upside down, and mine's not exactly in pristine shape either.
They never are.
They never are. So.
Would we maybe suggest using like evaporust on it?
Yeah, I would.
Vaporust.
Evaporust or
Yeah,
solid
because
rust.
I have green. I can't see green. It's green mold. Green. It's bad because the machine is in very good condition. It needs a deep cleaning, but and I think it will work.
I would totally.
Great.
Yeah, basically, my personal philosophy is if the typewriter is working, I don't worry about things like that. But that's just me. I'm okay using slightly dirty typewriters or rusty.
It's not just you, Greg. I do the same thing. Like I said, I would love to have a sparkling, clean, new looking. Okay, I did have one service that way, but that was a Smith Corona 5 series. This is not an Underwood, It'd be nice to find great.
Okay. What is this? What this part is? What is it?
That's the tabulator
That's
system.
the tabulator stops. The tab stops.
Okay, because I have some stuck here. Some of them are stuck, little bit stuck. No, it's a very good machine. I booked it 50 what in US dollar? It's same than euro. $50 US dollar. From a guy who picked up more than 350 typewriters from a dead collector.
Oh, wow.
He have two garages full of typewriters.
Wow.
I don't know if I can watch you a picture on the chat. No, we can't put a picture on the chat.
If you have it on your device, you can share your screen.
No, it's on my phone. I don't have it on my computer.
Okay.
But I will see the guy tomorrow or next Thursday because he sold more than 200 units, but he have always one full garage of typewriters for sale.
Wow.
Nice.
And I have to go to recycling shop because I will see their in their shop they have more than 40 typewriters. stuck in the stock, and I will watch them if they have some interesting units. I will give them 3 units because I have a free typewriter in very bad condition, and I want to change it, and I will buy some new stuff and less stuff because I have no place in my home. It's a problem with typewriters. It's fantastic machines, but we need a lot of places, and I don't have a lot of places.
Yeah.
Well, that's a cool typewriter.
Yeah, definitely.
It's funny you said that the guy got it from a dead guy, and I was thinking that most of these come from dead people.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's true.
We're all going to be dead collectors one day, I guess.
The Dead
know,
Collectors
right?
Society.
Dead collectors.
You put it that way, it doesn't sound so good.
That could be the typing prompt.
There you go. Excellent. All right. Anything else new with you, Diane? Thanks, Theresa.
Hi, Theresa.
No.
Okay. Excellent. And May, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Excellent.
I missed the past few meetings, so it's good to be back and good to have you back. And I did get a new typewriter, although it's the same model that I had before. It's Electra 120, because you know how much I like electric typewriters.
Yeah.
At this, it was on Shop Goodwill. I saw it for $16. No picture of the type bars, but I did see this little thing on the manual. And so it says, oh, you can only use one color ribbon with this typewriter.
You
And
know
I
what
was
that
like,
means.
I bet it's a cursive. And it is. So for a whopping $16, I got another cursive typewriter.
Wow.
It did come with a few things wrong that I'm messing with. Like I had to reform the metal because, those shipping issues, the metal was a little bent, so the space bar wasn't pushing down. But now I see the space bar is not even working at all. So I've got my work cut out for me, but that's okay because I enjoy that sort of thing. And it looks like everything's intact other than the space bar issue. So once I get that figured out and get some of this gunk cleaned off of it, I think we'll have another beautiful electric cursive typewriter. So.
I know you had the best luck with those.
I do. Well, it's because I look really carefully.
Yeah.
I've got those eagle eyes.
Yeah.
I'm looking for those special features. And a lot of times with these, more modern ones with the 6 series, most people don't really pay attention to them as collectors. We like the glossy black ones, and that's great too. So a lot of people ignore these and miss some of the special typefaces, and that's how I've gotten the large typeface one, the 6 CPI ones, because they're all kind of ugly, brown and gray. Classic 12s or the electric typewriters. So my dream is to get a 6 CPI electric. Then
Oh wow.
Then I'll maybe stop collecting at that point.
Oh, you won't.
No,
I want a gold typewriter, like Sean has.
You gotta have a gold, May.
Yeah, gotta have a gold or silver. I'd be fine with the silver plated one too.
Yeah, they're good too.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a Smith Premier one with double Gothic. I'll be happy.
So, May, the
yes.
electric 6 CPI typewriter you're looking for, does it need to have power return?
Oh, I would take either one. I prefer the manual, but
okay.
I wouldn't be picky if it was electric and 6 CPI.
12 inch.
12 inch, 12 inch carriage. Yeah, I have 2 classic 12s with the 6 CPI, and then I have one of the 5 series, the Silent Super, that also has 6 CPI. So they're all Smith Coronas.
I just happen to have a 6
An
CPI electric with white carriage.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Return.
Nice. Wow.
Maze
I'm
drooler.
gonna try.
I'll
You want the drool off my face here.
I'll see if I can dig it out sometime, and
Yeah.
I'll probably message you a picture or whatever. Can you send pictures of the private messages? No, you can't.
On Type Pals, I think you
Yeah.
can post pictures and then I can
Yeah.
reply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just get right to the chase here. What do you want for it? May wants it.
It's probably one of those typewriters that he's going to keep forever. You know, that's what I'm thinking. Like someday I'm going to be really old and I'm going to need 6 CPI.
I know, huh?
I'm already having to use magnifying goggles just to
Oh, no.
look at things. So.
Yeah. All right. And anything else new with you, May?
No, just I haven't, I've been on a typewriter diet, just been kind of, playing with the ones I have and cleaning them up, making them better. And I just couldn't help myself. When I saw Cursive Electric, for $16, I couldn't control myself. So yeah, I blew my diet, but it's worth it.
So are you like, regardless of whether or not you're in a buying mode, are you like constantly just looking at the listings anyway to look for those?
Yeah, I just like looking at, what's available and just kind of learning from the different brands and kind of seeing, what typewriters people are, bidding outrageously on. It's usually the same ones, the aqua blue ones and the Hermes and anything with a fancy typeface. And I just like looking at typewriters. So I'm sure we all can agree there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's my version of prawn,
Yes, yes.
Typewriter prawn. So I like looking, but also if I find something that goes unnoticed, then I'm gonna get it. If it's only $16 for a Cursive,
I know, right?
I'm not gonna let it sit there at Shop Goodwill all sad and alone. It needs a new home.
Yeah.
You have to adopt
Plus,
it.
I look at all the social media groups, Instagram, Facebook, look for typewriter pictures, and I'm pretty active in the groups. I don't post as much because I don't have new typewriters lately, but I definitely, respond, reply, and hit that love button a whole bunch of times. I enjoy the fact that we have a typewriter community, people we could talk to about these things, because not everybody understands.
May, if you're on Instagram, you should post something because I'd love to love you. I'd love to love your stuff.
Okay, I will. I see your YYC, so I'll follow you so you can find me.
I know. Oh, good. Yeah, because Diane has been following me like a creep, but she uses a different name, so I didn't know who she was.
She's stalking you.
I always use different names.
I know that was good. That's sneaky. The NSA will never catch on to that.
That's funny.
No, I think it just comes from whenever the internet first came out. I did not feel like, as a woman, I did not feel like I needed my name out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you picked a really tough name, but Diane, nobody's going to mess with you.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Dan Linder, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing fine, actually. Nice to see you. Nice to having you back, Oro. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been off. I've been disturbed in my typewriter collecting by this trivial thing called work. I don't know. Gotta do it sometimes, mostly work days, Monday to Friday. But May was speaking about a typewriter diet. I thought I was on a diet, my typewriter diet myself, but lo and behold, I wasn't. So I actually stumbled upon an old. I don't have it right here, but I posted in FB. I can tell you anyway. An old Patria from Switzerland, which was very nice. I saw it on an e-auction here in Sweden and picked it up in the same city. And I thought it was very low. Turned out it was missing all of its feet. So it's resting up, but it's a very, very fine typewriter. I was very glad to have it. And the person who had it in his cellar for about 40 years. His grandfather has used it, hadn't used it since the 50s, so it's a very nice condition. So I got to put some feet on it, and but it performs excellent. So otherwise, I'm off. Oh, I really and I donated a typewriter 2 weeks ago. Yeah, for my former client. I have. He's a director for the concert hall here in this city, and I've been doing some merchandise, some advertising when I was copywriter. Very good client for about 10 years. So he was about to retire 2 weeks ago. So I presented him with a portable Remington from 19. Yeah, I got 3, so he got one of those, and it was very nice. But because it was all flowers and was all bottles of wine when he was retiring, and in the midst of it all, there was the Remington. He almost started to cry because he's a former, he's a former journalist and a bit of a tough guy. So it was very, and he emailed me the day after to say thank you very much. So. He could. I said that the only thing I won't take it back for. You must use it, and he will. So it was very nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So memoirs.
Sorry.
You can type his memoirs on it.
Yeah, I suggested that too, and he would think of it. But it's very nice to leave him with his presence. He's been a really good client. I've done a lot of work with him, so it's a very good thing to say goodbye, a professional goodbye at least. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, I think it was nice to. It was such a conversation started at the party, at the reception during the afternoon. So it's where everybody was there. What is that? And somebody even said, knowing that I'm a collector, he said it's a real Don Linder gift. So that's about it. Haven't been collecting too much, but that's about it. So the Patria is the last thing I collected for this. It's very good. It's very nice.
Excellent. I want to see when it's all done, Dan.
Yeah. That will be my spring project. About 3 or 4 other things that might go haywire with renovation stuff like that. So my son is really the technician in my family. I can't do anything with a pair of tools. He's a very handy one, but it's about I gotta have him stay for about in the same spot for about 5 minutes.
That's Sarah one.
Sorry.
Yes. Woodstock. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's that's things going on a little bit in the life of the collector.
Excellent. Yeah. Very cool. Well, it's good to see you.
Yeah, and good to have you back, and nice to see you too. It feels like it was a long time ago, but
I know.
No, not for that. But I've been missing. It has become a habit in my family, sneaking off after dinner, say I'm off with the typewriter guys now. So so a couple of weeks, I don't know where to turn. I say, I went into my little studies. Okay, I'm here. What shall I do? I can watch an old
episode.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see you.
Excellent. All right. And Rich, how are you doing?
Oh, hello. Yes, doing good. Nice to be back in our typewriter therapy.
Yeah, definitely.
I fell off the wagon. Well, I think I've had kind of an adventure with the thermal printing. I had 3 type stars, a 4, 5, and a 6. I wanted to compare them in various working condition, so it wouldn't blow my bank. One of them, the 6 is working great. The 4 is marginal, and the 5 says it was for parts, but it ended up working. So that's good. I found some typewriter paper, thermal paper, and I want to thank you for sharing that post whenever the last time we met was. I compared it to a couple others, and I found one that was actually cheaper if you're willing to buy bulk, and it was $90 for 1,000 sheets.
I saw that one.
And so I got a box of that, and it's pretty good stuff. So of course I'm not one to really compare them. I don't know that much about it, but it works fine. So seemed like a good deal. I do like typing in the quiet with that because I'm up before everyone else in the house, so that's pretty convenient. And I think they're just kind of cool in a space age kind of way from the 70s, 80s. I don't know when, I forget when they're out there.
Like mid 80s.
Mid 80s, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I think I enjoyed some of the videos. You had one, I think Joe had one. Another thing I did was I found 2 typewriters. One of them is one of these. Of course, you can tell exactly what it is from that, right? This is Zephyr.
Oh, nice.
Smith Corona
Zephyr
Corsair.
Deluxe. I don't think my camera's so hot, but it's in good shape. Just needs ribbon and maybe some cleaning. And actually, I like it. It's really light, being made out of metal, but it's still light.
Wow.
And then the other one I found was actually yesterday. And, well, I can figure this out. So it came in a black box, but they had put a new handle on it, which looks actually pretty cool.
Somebody took care of it, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not going to be able to open this right now because I don't know how. I just got it, man. Doesn't seem to work. Oh, wait. It's working.
There we go.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wow.
Nice.
Shiny, beautiful.
Yeah. The Royal P.
Score.
Yeah.
So
Royal.
I was pretty glad about that. And
I like it has the covers on them.
And it has, yeah, I like that too. It had the two little covers.
The spool covers. Yeah, mine doesn't have those. Mine's an older one, I guess.
I have
But
one
it's
other,
still a nice typewriter.
and it doesn't have those covers. I use it all the time, so I thought I'd get that one. So that's my jumping off the bandwagon experience.
Yeah.
That was a good reason to jump. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I would have done the same.
Oh, yeah, it's
I would have done the same. Finding a typewriter like that pretty, that shiny, I have a hard time resisting to, especially for a good price, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good price.
Good.
But I went back. I'd seen it 2 weeks ago, and I thought about it all week, and finally went back yesterday and got it. So,
Rich, once you buy a typewriter like that, you can't wear a T-shirt anymore. You got to put a tie and a shirt on and cufflinks.
A fedora.
Yeah. You change the way you are with a typewriter like that.
Right.
Well, I have a couple.
Put some Old Spice on.
Yeah, the Old Spice. Ricard Noir.
Sean brought that hat thing again.
Yeah. So Sean, what would be the proper attire for a gold typewriter? A tuxedo?
Yeah,
tuxedo.
I'm not.
Sure.
I'm not dressing to my typewriter. That's for sure. So sorry about that.
That's a James Bond machine.
There you go.
Yeah.
Definitely a bow tie, probably for sure at the minimum, and probably a tuxedo. White gloves.
Excellent. Well, Rich, that is quite a pickup there. So yeah, and of course I'm thrilled that you're enjoying the thermal typewriters because I'm quite passionate about them actually. So yeah.
So I think I can get the 5 to work. It's really the only problem with it is the space key is intermittently fails, but just enough so that you have to check and make sure that it worked or didn't work. You know, it's not like all the time. So I'm thinking I can maybe I can pop off the space bar and spray it with air or something. I don't know. I don't know what it might be, but I haven't looked into it yet.
Probably some kind of contact cleaner.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Deoxide is a kind of deoxide electric.
Well, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'll write that one down too.
They're kind of a semi-sealed keyboard. You can take them apart. You can take the machine apart, pull off the ribbon cables, pull the keyboard off, and then there's a bunch of screws on the back side you take off, and then you get into it and you end up with a circuit board with a bunch of little metal contacts on it, and you just have to clean them all.
Clean them.
The
So there
inside
is
of the rubber keys themselves is conductive, like conductive rubber that makes contact. If that wears out, I've had good luck with gluing a piece of aluminum foil inside just to make it contact.
that's an idea. Hadn't thought of that. But there's a guy who's done I think 2 videos on taking one of those apart. And when I say apart, I mean completely apart. He's taken out just all. I mean, he's down to circuit boards, and it's pretty interesting. And I think what's just even more interesting to me is the fact that a person can do that. It just wouldn't occur to me to start pulling it apart like that and putting it back together.
Some people can do it. Dan Linder can't do it though.
Dan can't?
I couldn't either, frankly.
I couldn't.
That's way too
Well,
much.
I could get it apart. That's
Yeah.
that's probably the easy part. Putting
Exactly.
it back together to work again is
Circuit boards left over.
yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then the problem with my 4 is just that the power button, it works if you hold it tight, then it'll stay on for a while. So it's something in that little switch. I got it. And otherwise, they're all working.
Probably electrical contact cleaner would fix that also.
Probably the same can, right?
Yep.
That stuff is amazing. I forget which typewriter it was now, but I had one where it's kind of nice because all the features on this particular one are operated by switches, whereas like on the Canon Typestars you do the code and do your different modes and all that, but this had little switches. Well, the switches weren't working, so I had to spray some. I didn't even open up the typewriter. I just sprayed the contact cleaner in there, just through the little crevices, and let it dry out for a while, and turned it on, and it was working. So
wow,
that stuff really works. Yeah, definitely.
What kind of brand?
Let me grab it. Actually,
Probably a Brother.
Oh, I mean the cleaner.
Okay, so let me make myself big here. Oh, yeah, I think we have the same one.
There it is.
Yes.
CRC.
CRC QD contact cleaner.
CQD. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. That stuff is amazing.
We use it on all the cannon plugs on aircraft because it works.
Really?
Okay.
If you're familiar with the aborted mission and catastrophe that happened in the Gulf when they were rescuing the hostages, Iran had the hostages back in what was it, the early 80s. 80. Yeah, early
1980, spring of 1980. Launched off the Nimitz.
I was in Germany then.
They blamed that on people. The poor maintenance started a chain of events, and part of the poor maintenance was they didn't clean out the contacts on the cannon plug, which caused them to deploy another aircraft they didn't have planned on deploying, and then just a chain of events happened, and that's what happens with catastrophes often.
Wow.
So I decided I was going to be a good maintenance technician and do everything I was supposed to do.
Ever since then, huh?
Wow. I didn't know. I'm serious. I graduated high school in '76, and when that happened, I'm like, no, I ain't letting that happen.
Yeah.
It was bicentennial year.
Yeah, I was on the Constellation, and we relieved the Nimitz after that failed mission.
Wow. Where?
Out in the Arabian Sea,
Ah,
in the Indian Ocean,
wow, long way
I
from
think in
home.
1980.
Am I supposed to play this afternoon, Gregory?
Well, I wasn't able to promote it.
Okay.
So I'll get with you after, and we can discuss. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is then I'm gonna excuse myself and go eat because I haven't got to eat yet. I was at church and the preacher came up with the sermon for next week, and I thought of a song, and so I hurried up and wrote the song and played it and recorded it. And it's like, okay, oh yeah, I came home and my wife's like, "Are you supposed to play?" And I said, "I don't know."
We hadn't finalized it, so yeah.
I mean, I would, but I did. Yeah, if you hadn't filed, let's wait till you're ready.
Okay, that sounds good. Plus, you need to eat.
All right, I'll yeah, I know. But when you get stuck on something, you know, all you guys are obsessive. When you get stuck on something, you don't like to quit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're writing music. I mean, because if a song comes into your head, you got to record. If you don't put it down, you'll lose it.
Yeah.
Exactly. You got to wake up in the middle of the night and write it down if you have
You got to do it. Yeah.
All right, I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay.
A little while ago, we were talking about resistance and contacts and that sort of stuff. I came up with a little joke yesterday, or the day before. The other day, I saw a picture of a printed circuit board full of resistors. I thought it looked like a small city, but no, it's just an hometown.
Oh man, you're the jokester of the Type Pals. Excellent.
Therapy.
Yeah. All right. Now I am excited to talk to Curry because Curry has been up to interesting things, right, Curry?
Yes, I think Becky and I finally recovered from last Saturday's type in. Oh man, who realized that was so much work? Yes, I William.
It's crazy amount of work.
Oh wow. But no, moving 18 machines 4 times is a little bit of a workout, to say the least. But no, we got it done, and was at our local library here from noon to 4, and it was kind of slow. I was like, oh, okay, how's this going to turn out? I thought we'd have people lined up, and I was like, oh, but I think towards the about 3:30 in the afternoon, we had like this rush of people came in, and we're like, okay, well, we're supposed to be done at 4, but everybody's still typing away, so that's fine. Let's keep going then. Just keep going. I think the library was open till 5:30, and they didn't care. So yeah, I think we had 60, 70 people through.
65.
So for 4 hours, I was thinking maybe we'd get more than that, but the library was actually quite pleased with the turnout because it was the first in-person event that they had hosted since COVID. So almost 2 years, right? So so they were pleased. So we're pleased. We'll probably go back and do it all again in the fall. And hopefully by that time, like here in Ontario, they're sort of lifting the mask mandates in the next week or 2 or something. So hopefully by the fall, people will feel more comfortable going out to stuff. But no, we had a group of university students come in, and they must have stayed for 2 hours.
3.
It was almost 3. And they just were sat there typing away. Becky was giving them assignments and challenges and stuff.
Saying, Miss, is this okay? Like, are we okay to stay? I'm like, the machines aren't full, you're fine. And they were getting bored. So I said, fine, how about type me a really cool grocery list? I'll give you 2 stickers. We brought some promotional stickers. And so the one guy who'd never seen a typewriter in his life, he cracked off this amazing list. He comes over, he said, ma'am, how's this? And I was like, that's really good list. It had all this foods in it. And I said, but do you cook with these things? He says, no. Like they were like 24-ish, 25.
Yeah.
The one girl had seen a typewriter but hadn't typed on one, and the 2 boys had never seen one. So he's like, I don't know as much as you guys about typewriters. He's like, can you help me? I'm like, sure.
But we had lists of typing prompts around, and we even had a guy I don't know if he follows the group, but Gary Douglas from Mississauga came down with his wife and brought a Blickensderfer to show, and he had a whole binder full of different stationary ephemera, and most of it was actually like typewriter shops or typewriter companies, and so we had a quick look through that. But no, it was lots of fun. Yeah, I think we finally were.
Elections a little bit, but more fun.
Yeah.
Sign them in, direct them where to go. Please don't do this, only do this, and have fun. But without people having meltdowns in line, right?
Yeah, so some families, little kids that were into it. I thought it was so interesting to see the how the parents reacted, because some of them would be kind of standoffish, going, "I'm too cool for this. I'm just gonna sit over here on my phone while my kid types and yeah, just do that." But and other adults that were into it and things like that. So. But yeah, it was cool to just sort of try and get the word out about typewriters and generate some interest in the community. And then in May, we've got an art walk that's happening in our neighborhood. So we've got a park just across the street from where we are, and they're going to do some stuff through there. So we're signed up for that. And then, yeah, like I say, we'll probably try and do a type in again in the fall. One of my very first typewriter clients and his wife showed up, and he said, "Why is there no typewriter club around here?" I said, "Yeah, I don't know, because I really don't know very many other like typewriter collectors in my area." I mean, obviously with all these.
Like, "Oh, you're going to do this." We're like, "Are we?"
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, you're going to start a typewriter club." I'm like,
"We're pretty busy." But
okay, sure. Why not? One more thing.
He's gonna do his pens or something.
Yeah, he's into fountain pens.
Yeah.
He's into fountain pens, and they have this big fountain pen collectors club in Toronto that gets together at a library there and stuff. And so, all right, I've been told I'm supposed to start a typewriter club, and I've even had somebody interested because they saw the typewriter summer camp stuff on my website from what I'd done last year, just kind of as a joke. I think probably a number of you got the little stickers that I did up for it. And so somebody wrote me and said, "Hey, when's the next typewriter summer camp?" And I'm like, "Oh crap, I got to do this too." Because I know last year a bunch of people were like on this group said, "Oh yeah, this should totally be a thing." So I don't know, should it be a thing? Not that long until summer. I guess I better get my acts together and make it a thing.
What is the typewriter summer camp?
It should totally be a thing.
Oh my.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he didn't even stick it on anything yet. That's
Yeah.
even more awesome.
Well, I liked it so much that I need multiples because I'm a collector. So if I get stickers, I want to keep one pristine for the next generation and then stick one on something.
Need a patch. Is that a patch or a sticker?
That's a sticker, but a patch
patch.
a patch for my jacket would be great.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, wow.
So what is a typewriter summer camp?
I don't know. You tell me. But I just did it as a joke. I did like T-shirts and stickers, and I just thought this would be fun just to send it out.
What'd you do in summer? I went to typewriter camp.
Right. It says "Write Home Every Day" on it. And but yeah, I mean, I think it could just be like a whole bunch of different activities. I mean, people could sign up, and I could send them a package of stuff, and that the kids could do from home. And there's a lot of different like virtual camps that there have been over COVID and stuff like that. Do it all virtually, and so I've got lots of ideas rattling around in my brain. It's just a matter of getting time to put it all together. But hey, maybe we'll manage to do something here in the next month, so that people can sign up in time. And you've been there, done that, get the T-shirt kind of thing. So yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah.
Wow. I was picturing something out in the woods, that night you're on fire with the typewriter. You don't need electricity.
Can have your own typewriter summer camp in your backyard, camping out or whatever. But yeah.
So at the type-in, what was the most popular typewriter?
Oh,
which one was the most popular typewriter?
He has 64 of his own personal typewriters. We brought 18 of them. Plus everybody's typewriters we've seen through clients or ones that we've refurbished to sell. It was my very least favorite, I should almost just get
And-
it. Where is it? Well, it's buried.
Oh, it's down there.
It's buried.
And the very first typewriter that I ever got when I started collecting on the 15th of February 2 years ago. No, she can't reach it,
Yeah.
but it's red. So
And
that
it's-
should be
and
a
it's
dead
noisy.
giveaway.
A Valentine?
And
Yeah,
it's pricey.
clanky and red and
It's junk.
probably cost more than they should. But yeah, the Olivetti Valentine was like a magnet. And the red typewriter, why? But yeah, no, they
Kept saying, you guys like that one the best? Why? It's crap. This lovely Royal or this lovely Underwood, or, and they're like, no. And I said, what about the Olympia? Like, those are the workhorses.
Yeah.
Those are the best quality. And they're like, oh, it takes too much effort to type. And I'm like,
the SG1 and the Olympia SG1 and the SM3 got lots of attention as well.
They actually did.
And the Hermes
yeah.
3000, of course, and people could figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people were drawn to even the old ones, like the 1920 Underwood 5 and the Royal H.
Like old Italian guys would come in and they go right for the big standards. Yeah.
And then we brought along a check writer, and some of the kids were having fun dialing up the numbers and pulling the handle. And
Some of the parents didn't know what it was, and even in their 40s, they didn't know. They were like,
or they
"What is
didn't
this
let
thing?"
on that they knew,
Yeah.
because they were too cool for this.
One guy was super cool. He kept saying, cool, cool. And he wouldn't type on anything until about an hour in, then he typed something.
Yeah.
So funny.
People got to warm up to it, I guess.
I'm not a typer person. I can henpeck a bit if I need to, but I like looking at them and learning about them and helping him set up and do intakes and work with the people. But I don't think I'll ever be a typist. My spelling, I'm worse than you, Gregory. I can't. No.
Never say never.
Was there a typewriter that you took that you regretted taking?
The Olivetti, no.
No, I don't think
they all
so.
got quite a bit of looking and
They all got attention. Yeah.
Curry made really cool. Where's your 10 cards? All the way downstairs.
No, they're down there. Yeah.
Where is it?
Let's get the word out on eBay and everywhere to all the common people and tell them that the Olivetti, the red Olivetti Valentine is no good, because I want the price to go down, because I want one. I always want one.
Sell it to you.
So we had done up these little info cards with each machine, so typed up with the actual machine, and just a few little fun facts and stuff like that. So we'd place these all around. There's
But
your
then
Hermes
we can
3000.
keep track of which machines we brought. I like showing everybody variety. I'm very eclectic, as you can see the glass behind us. So it's cool to have kind of an inventory that's pretty. And it's typed on. I made him type with each typewriter, each card too. He was just going to type on his favorite. And I said, no. I'm very organized that way, I guess.
I guess part of my question was, were there any that you were concerned about, like might be damaged or
Two old ones.
Yeah, I think the two old ones, the
I called
19
it the no touchy table.
even the 1920 Underwood 5, I was worried, but there was one guy came in and he had contacted me through Facebook beforehand and said, he was like, oh, I can't make it till 2. Is it still okay if I come? I'm like,
in like 25
drop
minutes
in.
just to drop in
But-
for 20 minutes, and he left.
Yeah, but
They
he
were
came in and
collection.
he was typing
went
away on
right
the
for
Underwood
that one,
5 and he
didn't he,
loved it.
actually?
And I'm like, wow, okay, great.
He focused right down on that one. He's beeline for it. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, they all survived. No kids came along and started doing this on them or anything.
Yeah.
Mom was like, oh, please stop.
Very cool.
Is it an annual thing now, or are you rescheduled?
Well, yeah, like they said, they want us to come back in the fall, so we haven't set a date for it yet, but I'm pretty sure that we will do it. And I mean, it's a perfect tie-in for a library, right? For literacy and reading, and the library brought in,
All
like
the
they
staff,
grabbed a
like,
bunch of typewriter related books, like the Typewriter Revolution and Tom Hanks's book, and so we had a little table just inside the front door with the library items on it, and I think it was towards the end, a family was leaving, and so I grabbed Click Clack Moo and gave them that and said, here, you need to check this book out and read it with your kids. And they're, oh, okay, all right, sure.
It's supposed to be a really big book. I haven't read it though.
Yeah, Yeah.
So the typewriters and they cause the cows and the chickens cause a revolt against the farmers.
Yeah,
through typewriters.
if anybody knows the story, Click Clack Moo, I guess the barn animals find a typewriter in the barn and they start writing out, typing out demands to the farmer. So,
Oh,
Never heard that.
that's really cool.
So no, I'm sure we'll do it all again. We got lots of stickers left, so some of you will be getting these in the
Who
mail.
was the gentleman that was the sticker collector? What's his name?
Was
I don't
that
see him on-
the
who's
sticker
guy
collector?
That has said he collects the stickers.
Sean.
Sean
No,
was showing
just
a
Sean.
sticker.
Sorry, Sean.
Oh, lots of us collecting stickers.
The one that showed the typewriter sticker that they got. from
Yeah,
Jan.
Sean.
That was Sean.
Yeah, Sean. Yeah.
We know.
So, yeah. So, and if that wasn't enough, so the next day we were like exhausted. We were like, okay, it's our only chance to go out, go out and go antiquing the next day. And we're like, I'm probably not going to find anything. Let's just.
It's not a typewriter, but I'll show you one beauty. There you go, boys.
What is it?
Girls. It's an imperial rabbit. So it's an animal covered dish.
Oh.
It'll have a base and a top. So they were for function back in the day. Now they're just more for pretty.
Do they hold typewriter stuff?
They certainly can.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
There's spare ribbons in there, stickers.
But then I was happy to find. Actually, I found 3 pieces. I was like, yes, something for me.
Yeah. I know you collect those.
Sorry?
I know she collects those little animal dishes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're
collect
everywhere.
many
Well, I had to
things.
get her into collecting something so I could justify my own typewriter collecting. You see?
There you go.
Isn't that how it works?
I think
Make sure your
everybody's
spouse is collecting something too. Well, honey, you collect all that stuff, so one more typewriter.
If I can get 10 or 12 pieces to his one,
Yeah.
and if I find a rare piece, which I found a piece I sold, I bought it for 40 bucks Canadian, so about 27 USD, and I sold her for almost 1,000 USD. Wow. I've only found 2 pieces, and I have 1 piece everybody wants, and I'm like, no, I'm keeping it. If there's only 25 left in the whole known world, I want that. Keep that. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, so we went out antiquing, and we went to the one antique market we usually go to, and probably not going to find much there. And then
And you got some stuff.
my
too, right?
stepdaughter was like ahead of Becky and Hope were ahead of us, and I'm like always started lagging behind because I'm looking at stuff, and Hope comes back and she's like, I found a green one. And it would be, well, you found a green one. Well, that can mean
No, she
you know.
said, I think it's a cool one that you're gonna
No, she
like.
said it's green.
And it's
So
cool.
you think green? Oh, Hermes,
Yeah,
a
right
green
there.
one. So not quite a Hermes, but I posted this in the group this past week. So that's a dead giveaway. The little button on the side there. So
It's called though.
yeah. So we'll pop this one open. So
And then
it wasn't
Tara's-
a Hermes, but a lot of places it's called a Parva, but I don't know whether it's a Canadian thing. They call it a North Star. So
Wow.
It's really
Antares North Star.
Yeah.
So it's pretty kind of close to the Hermes rocket.
Yeah.
It's the tilting carriage and stuff like that. But yeah, nice and clean.
Yeah.
A few little paint chips and stuff on the case.
That's
And
cool.
then I posted it in the group and somebody said, well, does it have the case with it? And I said, yeah. He's like, okay, because the case was designed so that you can have this on your lap, and the typewriter actually sits inside the case.
Oh.
Wow.
And the
that's
typewriter
why they
has
have
like a
the
flange
buttons.
around the bottom of it. This has this flange around the bottom. So
They
then
have the side
this
buttons.
just slides in,
The original laptop.
sits inside the case,
Oh.
Wow.
and then you can have it on your lap, and then that's how you type.
Wow.
Put it on your lap
Nice.
like that.
That's a cool
Like
one.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So
That's really
yeah,
cool.
that's a fun little machine. Yeah, great find.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
and then together with that one, there was again the Canadians will know about this one, the Eaton's Viking Deluxe 12.
Oh,
So rebranded Smith Corona. So it's kind of some neat 60s styling with it. And then we went to, we decided, well, we have enough strength to do one more. So we went to one more. That's where she found all of her stuff. Like 3 really great finds.
Finds in the same
And,
store. It's all the same place. It's great.
yeah.
2 minutes from my house.
And the only one that was there for me is like this big Olivetti electric, and I'm like, I don't really want another electric. Why do I want an electric? Olivetti Praxis 35. And but it had all this stuff with it. It had extra ribbon, and so then I'm starting to justify it. Well, it has the extra ribbon, it has some corrector ribbons, it has an extra type wheel. Man's taking a chance on this darn thing, because those electrics, sometimes you get them home, they're dead, and so do I really want to drop $65 on this? So but you know what, I'm glad I did. It's actually really quite nice. And next to the IBM Wheelwriter, I mean, it works great for, again, typing envelopes, and I did a letter to a type pal on it yesterday, and so yeah, no regrets with that. But yeah, sometimes with those electrics, you were talking about them earlier, the belts and stuff. I mean, I still have my Hermes 10 that squeaks away. I cleaned it, but it's still squeaky, so I just got to find the case, because it actually came with some extra belts, so I just got to and see if I can get it to stop squeaking. But electrics are always taking a chance. I mean, I even had some people call the business this week saying, oh, I've got this electric, and I know it's not a mechanical issue, but it's like a issue with the board. And I'm like, man, I
that's a different thing altogether.
Forget it. No, I picked up an was a Olympia Report Electronic, and those ones, I think Joe, he's disappeared though, but he did a video on it, and there's like underneath the keyboard, there's like this, like a sensor sheet thing that's built into it, and it just degrades over time, and then it doesn't make contact anymore, and to try and find another one or whatever, and if you try and get it, remove it, it just rips. So yeah, they're some of them can be a pain. But I mean, if it's a type bar electric, I'd probably be more inclined to say, yeah, I could fix that, rather than like an electronic one. But so who knows? But so that was a fun weekend. Like I say, thankful that we recovered from that, and I've taken a couple extra days off for this weekend to have a little bit of an extra long weekend and get caught up on this growing stack of Type Pal mail that just haven't had time with getting ready for the type in and the full-time job and everything else going on. So I'm going to try and put a dent in this stack of correspondence this weekend, so we'll see how far I get. But
good Curry, because I'm glad I'm not the only one. I think a lot of us have a stack of mail we got to respond to.
That's the challenge, is like you send out, okay, I'm gonna send a letter off to this type pal, and then you get a reply back, and then you don't want it to just stop there. You kind of got to keep this going, but and it sort of accumulates on you, for sure.
Definitely.
Fun though.
And then
It's fun to have that
fun
problem
ones,
for sure.
then the real fun ones are when you get letters totally out of the blue from someone you've only ever seen the name on Typewriters, and they say, hi, I saw your profile, it looks like you were interested in this, and this.
I got one of those too.
Google Docs, yes.
Greg, I forgot this because I was in a different room, but I found this over at Mom's house, and these days school boxes are made of plastic and blah and yuck. But I found this and I'm just like, oh my God, it's like crayons and pencils.
Oh, cute! I used to have one of those. Yeah.
Here is a discontinued crayon. It says raw umber. It was always one of my favorites in the 70s. But yeah, I'm kind of happy I found it, and it's one of the later ones I had, so it's still intact. The one I had in first grade, the box the lid was long since ripped off, and it was basically a crayon box for, I guess, my nephew, or my late nephew. But I opened a drawer and I found this, and I found a bunch of the Light Bright, the boxes of the pegs for the Light Bright, and even some
I
of
remember
the
those. Yeah.
even some of the the things that you put into the thing with the patterns for the pictures.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh, the black paper,
I
yeah.
left those where they were. The light brights on the other side of the basement. I just left those where I found them. It's like, oh, okay, I know where they are. And I don't know what possessed me to open this desk drawer. It's like, oh, wow, cool. I gotta get that home.
No, 4.
I was in Winfield, Kansas at the General Electric factory when I was working on their engines. And that factory used to be the Crayola factory. Part of that factory in Winfield, Kansas was Crayola. I guess they sent the stuff overseas or something since.
Oh,
But
wow.
Oh wow.
yeah, it was kind of cool because you could see some of the rooms were painted up with the logos and crayons and looked like kids' rooms and stuff. And that's what they used in the factory because it made them feel good. That's what I understand.
Wow.
It still smelled like new crayons in some parts of the factory too.
Wow. I figured Joe might get a kick out of it. He's back at his desk now.
Yeah.
Since he's an office supply junkie.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his ears on, and I just put it away, but I'll bring it right back out just for Joe.
Oh, yes.
Just for Joe.
Put some typewriter ribbons and pins and fountain pens and pencils in there.
Well, no,
Oh,
but there's
crayons.
crayons. Crayons, pencils, pens, the discontinued raw umber crayon.
Wow, you should be able to sell that on eBay for a pretty good price.
No.
That's her treasure.
It really is. It was one of my favorites whenever I was growing up. But anyway,
That's
I
pretty
want
cool.
you to see
Thanks.
the school box.
It's pretty
These
neat.
days they're made out of plastic, and it's like, seriously?
Oh, yeah.
It's just not the same.
It really isn't. And I know that sounds really weird, but it's just not the same.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, let's see. Anthony Murphy, how are you doing?
Oh, Gregory, how are you?
Good. Yeah,
I'm doing great. Yeah. I haven't been around for a while. I hope I haven't.
Why?
Lynn, you know that, right?
Say again?
You're my lost.
Oh, yes.
Lost.
Oh, yeah.
The doppelganger, yeah.
I hope I'm the younger you, Larry.
No, I mean, twins don't have to be identical. You can be better looking. You're better looking than me, but still, I swear when I look at you, I'm like, oh, that's not me. That's me over there.
That's funny.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Of course. Is there anything new with you?
I'm glad to report some progress on my book that I've been writing since June of last year.
Excellent. Yeah.
It comes in sort of very busy chunks, and then I stop for a while because, I don't know about the rest of you, but life is busy, and then I get these periods of burnout. I have a very busy day job in which I'm a copy editor, basically a sub-editor and graphic designer, and it's deadline driven, and sometimes I'm sitting here for 8 hours of the day reading on the screen, and then the mind just gets fuzzy and the brain says no more, stop, and I just want to sit back and listen to music or just do something other than reading or writing or typing. But as I said, I think on the first time I was here, then there's times when you welcome the relief from the screen that the typewriter brings, and you find that it's a different type of reading and writing, and it doesn't tire the eyes and the brain as much, and it can provide a nice break from from the constant screen reading. So I'm on page so the TypeScript I keep in a folder, in one of these folders, and I'm on page 152 of the TypeScript, and it's averaging out at 460 words a page on the Brother. That's the electric, the AX230. And so the total word count is actually 69,000, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
But I reckon I'm not just quite at the halfway mark yet. So if 70, maybe 73 or 4,000 words is the halfway mark, then this is going to be a big book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. You have to enjoy it too, don't you?
Yes, definitely. So is that single space then?
It's actually line and a half.
Oh, okay.
Single 1.5 and 2 on the brother. And I prefer, simply because in Irish, we have fadas on some of the vowels, which are like French accents, and the typewriter doesn't have them. And I like to be able to write them in onto the TypeScript. Now, I don't intend to use this as the proofing TypeScript or draft. I won't be, marking these pages. This is the original. And what I do when every page is complete, I think I was telling you this before, I use an OCR app on the phone to capture the text and basically input that into a Microsoft Word document. So the Word document contains the draft upon which I will do all the work when the time comes. The original gets preserved exactly as it was written, with all its flaws and all its mistakes and all its repetition.
That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I have been using the Adler special, which I showed you a few weeks ago. Not as often as the Olympia SM4, which I find just easier and more pleasurable to work with. So if I really love using the brother, and I love the fact that it's got the correction ribbon and produces a really clean TypeScript. But I like to also hammer away at the manual typewriters. It's more likely to be the SM4 than the Adler Special, to be fair,
Yeah. Now, remind me, your book is fiction or nonfiction?
It is actually a companion volume to a book that I published last year. The book that I published last year is called Return to Segish, which is like a mytho-poetic exploration of the landscape and the mythology of this area, which is the Boyne Valley, which is probably Ireland's most famous or best known sort of prehistoric complex of monuments. And it's a companion volume to that, so it's non-fiction essentially. I'm on page 80 of Return to Segish in terms of the accompanying text, and the book runs to page 183, so I'm not even halfway there. So Return to Segish itself is a book that you would read in a few hours, but the companion will take a little bit longer.
Anthony, is the Boyne Valley, the same as the Battle of the Boyne place?
Yeah, well, yes, same location. The Battle of the Boyne site is actually only a couple of kilometers west of here.
Cool.
But the Brunabonia Monument Complex, Newgrange, Nouth and Douth, is another few kilometers west of that. So I'm in Drogheda, which is the largest town on the Boyne River, the one closest to the coast. And so, yeah, we have all this history going right back to 5,500 years ago. And actually, I always laugh when anybody mentions the Battle of the Boyne. I say, that's only recent history. That's only yesterday. We've had people sailing up and down the Boyne River for 6,000 years.
Yeah, sorry, we're just uneducated colonials over here. That's all. That recent history is all we know.
And of course, the Battle of the Boyne is so important in Irish history, in a way that you wouldn't believe. In the Stone Age, in the Neolithic, there is now an indication that the Irish and the British, whatever they identified themselves at the time, probably saw themselves as one people. There were so many cultural and trade links even in the Stone Age between Ireland and Britain. So, for example, and even the coast of France, Brittany, the monuments here take their design essence from those in France. And there was an incredible connection, apparently, between Ireland and Orkney, where you have, you know, the Ring of Brodgar and the Stones of Stennis, etc., and a fairly substantial Neolithic complex up there. And if you go later into history, there were actually Irish kings who commanded Northumberland. There, you know, in a reversal of what you would think in terms of colonialism, etc., there were actually Irish kings who commanded regions of Britain. If you go back far enough, you know, and it's truly fascinating. But the Battle of the Boyne, they say the site of it, if you were to sweep it, it's a public park now. A large portion of the battle site is a public park, which is brilliant. They say that if you were to sweep it with a metal detector, you will regularly get beeps, which are the results of lead shot from the battle that still lies in the ground. You know.
Wow.
Just one brief thing about that. I don't know a huge amount about the Battle of the Boyne because my speciality is Irish prehistory and mythology, but William of Orange was crossing the river, and literally, I mean, I often take photographs down there. It's only about a mile from here, maybe less. He crossed the river in Shallows, west of Drogheda, at a place called Yellow Island. Now, there's a magnificent motorway bridge crosses the river there now. It's the M1 Dublin-Belfast motorway. But while he was crossing the river, he was shot, and the shot grazed his shoulder. And it is said that had the shot been a few inches lower, the whole outcome of the Battle of the Boyne might have been completely different. You know, that he was incredibly lucky only to have been grazed by the shot. Because if he had been killed, it might have been the case that would have affected the outcome of the battle, contrary to what ended up happening. You know.
Wow.
Wow. That's crazy. A matter of inches.
It's amazing how often
Very
that probably
interesting.
is replicated in history, where one little thing could have twisted everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you talk about kings and commanders getting along, Anthony, it's always the kings and the commanders that cause the fight in the first place, and then the people just follow and they get mad because they're killing their brother and stuff, you know. So it's just crazy, isn't it? That it's like we're always following these idiots to start it, you know. I mean, no matter what, I don't care who the idiot is. I don't care if they're your idiot or our idiot. They're idiots to start it.
Yeah.
It's sad.
But you know the story of the Anglo-Norman invasion. You know that the king Dermot MacMurrough had been defeated in a battle against another Irish king. In medieval Ireland, there were upwards of 150 kingdoms at any given time, and there was internecine warfare going on between them. You know, and MacMurrough had been defeated and decided to go across to Pembroke in Wales and enlist the help of, I think it was the Earl of Pembroke, you know, and said, listen, could you provide me with some soldiers to come back to Ireland? There's this bugger that I wanted to kick the crap out of in Ireland, you know? And so the Welsh, who were Norman descendants, agreed to this. And Dermot said to them, you know, was it Richard de Clare Strongbow? He said, well, if we're successful, you can have my daughter's hand in marriage. Brilliant stuff. Sounded great. So they landed back in Ireland and won the battle. And then the Normans kind of said, this place looks ripe for the conquest. And they decided to stay. And as they say, the rest is history. And there's an incredible complexity of history in Ireland. And bizarrely, that history was presupposed, prognosticated. I don't know what you'd call it. It's like the mythology, the Book of Invasions, as it's called, set up the script for the actual history that was to come. You know, it basically lists a series of 6 different invasions of Ireland by various peoples and deities, etc., etc. And it's fantastic in its reading. The first person to arrive in Ireland was a granddaughter of Noah, he who built the Ark of, the famous boat. And she had been refused entry onto the Ark by her own grandfather on the grounds that it was full, and just because you're my granddaughter doesn't mean I have to get 2 elephants and 2 giraffes and she was told by Noah to go somewhere where there were no people living, because such a land would have no sin in it and therefore wouldn't be subject to God's wrathful judgment. So she decided to come to Ireland, but she didn't survive. The flood still happened and overtook her. But there's this series of invasions, that's chronicled, or it's called pseudo-history by the scholars. They don't believe any of it really happened, but it seems to set the scene then for actual Irish history from about the Iron Age onwards, when you have, continuous arrivals. And I mean, even the Vikings, people think the Vikings were defeated at the Battle of Clontarf. The Vikings founded Dublin City, minted the first coins, transformed our economy from a cattle-based economy to a grain-based economy. And we're starting to find out now through genetics that they actually left a much greater genetic imprint in the modern Irish population than we would have believed previously. And so, you still see a prevalence of Norman names in Ireland, names like Prendergast and Roach, etc., etc. They're not just confined to the southeast, because eventually, they became subsumed into the population. Anyway, I think I've gone on much longer than I should have.
Oh, that's fascinating.
No, this is good.
It's very good.
I love you. I love your passion for history.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to get me excited about history, and you're making me want to read up on it. So
history is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing too, because every time you go somewhere, you learn about their history, and it's things you wouldn't ever dig too deep in. Do a deep dive. You learn so much, and just like with the Irish history,
Like typewriters.
Yeah.
Right.
Like typewriters.
I'm still wondering if the outcome of that guy winning the daughter's hand was actually a punishment.
Curiously, his name
Anthony,
is McMurrow, which is a version of the surname Murphy. McMurrow and Murphy are basically from the same root, so I could be related to him.
Wow.
So, Anthony, a little while ago, you were saying that Ireland has a very long history, and Sean was saying that Canada does not. My wife has a little expression. The difference between an Englishman and an American is that an American thinks 100 years is a long time, an Englishman thinks 100 miles is a long way.
Right.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Definitely.
Anthony, may I ask you a question concerning the choice of the typewriter? What made you pick the brother? Is it a favorite of yours, or just it felt right for the project, the novel, the book?
That's a good question. Yeah, I didn't have room for a Selectric.
Okay.
But when I used to visit the office of the local newspaper in the 1980s, the Selectric was the one I always wanted to use, because I loved the action of it. But this one just came up cheap locally, and I think it was €70, and I think I managed to bargain it down by €10. And I took it home, and I had to get the correctable tape. I had to get both cassettes, the cassette and the correction tape for it, and I had to wait for those. But once I started using it, I found it was really nice to use. But the main thing was that it produces this beautiful, clear script, and the correctional ability. I think I'm not sure. I think the way the Selectric works is you go back one space, you hit the correction thing, and you have to hit the same letter to erase that. So if you typed an X and you didn't mean to, you have to also type an X. With this one, you just go delete backspace, and it remembers what
It
character.
remembers.
Ah, nice.
You type, you know, if you type a word and there's an extra letter at the beginning of it, you know, you have to do the whole thing. Well, all you have to do is press it 7 or 8 times, and it'll go. It'll go back and read the whole lot, and it lifts them very cleanly off the page. So I just like it, but I still enjoy the thrill of the manual typewriter more. It's just that clumsy fingers, I make more mistakes.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like the electric is for work, but the manuals are for fun, right?
Yeah,
Kind of.
I think that's a very good way of putting it. The one thing that I don't like, I'll show you this. The one thing that I really don't like about the brother, I'm not sure if I can take this camera off now, but I'll try. One thing, apologies.
Oh, it's a daisy wheel.
No, it's the fact that, I'll get this in focus now, just bear with me one moment. Sorry, this is messy. It's the fact, one moment. I'll get there, I promise. I know you're seeing a black screen right now. Don't worry.
Where did you go?
You knocked the power lines down.
So it's the fact that the words that you're typing are actually covered over by the mechanism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Some typewriters are like that. Yeah.
And that's annoying because you can't often see whether, so you can see in there and the words are and vice versa, right? But I can't see right there now whether I've typed those properly or not. I have to move the carriage along before I can see that I've done that correctly.
Yeah.
And that is, I find, the only real disappointment about it. You know, I love the action and the noise of it, and there's a very solid, you know, like I'll just demonstrate. I'll just type a word, and there's a lovely action, and I'll just hit the back delete 4 times. There you go. It's done. You know? But anyway, that's the only downside to it.
Well, when you turn the knob on the Platen, is it just smooth or does it index?
It's smooth. So you know, when there's a paper insertion button that if you use that button, which is this one, to automatically insert the paper, then you will get a warning when you reach the end of the paper. You'll hear a double beep, 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 that tells you that you're on the last line and that you have to finish. So when you hit the carriage return, carriage return, it's a funny thing. When you hit the return, you know, the text will move by the 1.5 lines. But if you turn this knob, there's no ratchet, there's no clicks. It's smooth. And
you don't know where you're at.
Well, another disadvantage of it is that I haven't found in the manual, if you find a word on the previous line that's misspelt, I haven't found a way to go back electronically to correct that. So then you're into manual movements, and that just becomes a nightmare. So you just have to leave. So I'm not sure if there is a way of doing that, of returning to the previous line electronically and correcting. I haven't been able to find it. The manual isn't exactly comprehensive. It's maybe a 50-page manual rather than a 300-page manual, if you get me.
Yeah.
That's why I brought that up. I was wondering if you knew, because I don't know how to do it either. It bugs me.
Yeah, it is. There are some disadvantages to it, but the overall, you know, it's the ability to produce, as I say, this beautiful, clean page of TypeScript. You know, which I think is a disadvantage. You know.
Yeah.
When you get that quick correction, you can keep moving on, not have to think too much about what you're writing.
Yeah.
What model of brother is that?
It's an AX230. And the main difference, there are a lot of them for sale here, and I see them coming up regularly. This one has.
I see them shop Goodwill too.
Yeah, this one has a little LCD screen, so that when you, for instance, change the pitch or the line spacing, it will display for you. Whereas with the other ones, it's more guesswork. You just have to assume that you've done it.
Yeah. Which cartridges does that machine take?
What? Yeah, those ones. Yeah.
Okay, and the correction tapes?
They're little yellow ones. Yeah. That's those. Yeah, the exact
Okay.
same. Yeah.
My father-in-law was a clerical secretary all his working life, and he hated to be low on supplies. So when he passed away, I inherited probably close to 100 of these.
Oh my goodness.
So now I have a reason to write to Anthony and send him some.
Better get writing.
They
send him some of
ask for
these.
them. I think you get about 16 pages of typing out of them before, and the problem with them is that they just wind through once and then they're wasted.
Yeah.
Unlike the
single
typewriter
pass.
ribbons, they're reversible and you can keep using them until they fade. You find it, you're flying on. Over the weekend, I had to change the correcting tape, which I don't have to do very often, in fairness, and the cartridge. And I've been taking a note of when I've been changing the cartridge, and it seems to be roughly every 15 to 17 pages of.
Yeah, that
script,
makes
which
sense.
is a lot, really.
Now,
Because,
Diane,
hey,
I was going to say Diane's a chemist, and it would be nice if somebody would invent a paper that was impact sensitive, so you didn't need a ribbon, and whenever it impacted, it would make a character right there where you impacted in darkness. A chemical coating would do that, just like carbon paper, just like the paper that's heat sensitive, you can make it impact sensitive. A good chemist would do that.
Well, they do have the no carbon required copy paper. Like when you get the multiple sheets of paper. Well, hang on.
Well, yeah, there's that anyway. Carbon. I wasn't even thinking carbon paper. Yeah.
No, not carbon. Carbon less like my work orders. 2-page, back page. When you write, it comes through either blue or black on the back page. There's no carbon paper in there. It's a chemical on the back of the front page, and there that the two respond. Now, how you do that with a single sheet of paper, I don't know.
Yeah, you'd want it visible.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's interesting. I hope somebody comes up with that.
Yeah. Or you could just use a thermal typewriter.
What's that?
Or you could just use a thermal typewriter.
Oh yeah.
But William, if you need to offload any of those cartridges, by all means, send them this way.
Yep, that's my plan.
Excellent.
Send you the care package. Yes, so these colors contain 160 meters of 8mm ribbon.
160 meters.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a character. They tell you on the box how many characters you can get from it. And of course, I got excited when I saw that initially because I thought that was words.
Oh.
Yeah, it's only good for so many thousand characters. I think it works out if it's 16 pages of TypeScript at 450. What's that? Anybody do the maths on that? What did I say? 16 by 450. That's about just over 7,000 words. So it's about 7,000 words a cartridge.
Yeah.
Wow. Sounds good to me.
All right.
Now, was it last night? Larry was talking about using carbon ribbon on a manual typewriter.
It was last week.
Last week, yeah. That's how it looks.
Ah, nice.
Oh,
yeah, looks great.
Yeah, it from what I'm seeing, it looks like maybe a nylon ribbon that's, but it still looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
well,
not super.
The quality of this camera isn't terrific.
Oh, okay.
The letters are absolutely clear and concise. No fading, no feathering or fuzziness around the edges. Just absolutely clear and concise.
Oh, excellent.
And that's what was that, Hermes 3000 or what was that?
An Olympia B12.
Okay, because I know you said certain typewriters wouldn't do it because they overlapped or different issues.
What I was saying was that some typewriters work better than others with a carbon ribbon.
Mm-hmm.
The old Smith coroners do not advance a carbon ribbon far enough to get a fresh piece of ribbon for each letter. The Olympia B12 and the Hermes 3000 seem to work just about perfectly. The little Royal Sabres advance it like about 4 letters worth per stroke, so you're wasting more than using. Anyhow, so back to what Angela was saying, or whoever it was.
Yeah, very cool. Let's see
I had
here.
a classic 12. One of my 6 CPI classic 12s came with a carbon ribbon, and it moves, it advances enough, but that's a 6 CPI, so different. But it looks really good. The 6 CPI carbon ribbon. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Too bad there wasn't very much left.
Oh, wow. I know I've heard Roger speak up a few times. Are you there, Roger?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Just don't have much to say.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm trying to remember. Have you been on before?
Yes, last week or the week before, just the week after the week after Herman's.
Oh, okay. Okay. All righty. Well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And William, I think you were saying you had a typing prompt.
Yes.
If you want to share it, go for it.
Okay. Type Club Live type prompts, Sunday, March 13th, 2022. Good morning to all. It's great to see your friendly faces again. I sincerely hope that Gregory is feeling better again, or is at least on the mend after his brush with COVID. Speaking of which, I trust that Gregory's father is also on the mend. Therefore, without further ado, I'll get to today's type prompt. An update on what I've been typing this week. My main typing project for this week has been typing a letter to a typewriter friend in Eindhoven in the Netherlands. We became acquainted via typewriter talk sometime in 2018. Just checked, January to be more precise. On one of her first posts on the forum, she was asking if anyone would be interested in being a pen pal, so I responded via private message. About a month later, I received a 5-page letter. I'm almost ashamed to admit that it took me a year before I replied. My letter was in the form of a 9-page letter, elite type, single space, on 9.5-pound onion skin paper. We've been typing back and forth about once a year ever since. My last letter to her was at 10 pages, but it was in Piker cursive, 1.5-line space, also on onion skin paper. The letter I'm typing at the moment is single space 12 CPI from my 1972 Olympia SM9, serial number 4483655. I've just started on page 5. I have a lot to say. I still have a lot to say, so this will probably be a 10-page letter by the time I'm done. There is one thing to be said about true onion skin paper. I can stuff 13 sheets into a number 10 ml envelope, and it still comes in at just under 30 grams. Once this meeting is done and we've had some lunch, I'll probably add some more to this letter. Once this letter is done, I have a few more letters I need to type to other type club members. That brings this report to a close. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent.
Awesome. Good job.
Very cool. I think you're never hard up for words.
I do tend to be a bit wordy, don't I?
Oh,
In a good way.
That's awesome, though. I mean, I know some of my type pals are very verbose, I guess you would say, and it'll be like a 5-page letter or something. I have one that for each page he uses a different typewriter and uses a different paper, so that makes it really
wow.
Mm-hmm.
So but yeah,
Anyway, it's not, don't worry about being wordy because you say a lot. That's the main thing, is you say a lot with your words.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love getting long letters, actually. So yeah, definitely. Very cool. Let's see here. I do believe we have some YouTube chat. Let's see here. This one here. All right. So we had Mark 80 Bojang Running Wild says hi. Kat says hello. Oh wow. Oh, that's a spam one anyway. Then our own Anthony Murphy with Mythical Ireland says hi folks, good evening from Ireland. Anthony here. Sorry I haven't been able to join you live for the past couple of weeks. Been busy writing my next book. Hope you all had a great St. Patrick's Day. And of course we got to speak to him earlier. Then we have John V. I have a Fawcett TP2 where platen ratchet release doesn't work. Push in platen knob. I've heard these are difficult to work on. Doable or take to Mesa Typewriter. I'm pinching pennies, by the way. Does anybody know if that would be easy to work on, or?
Haven't had one to pieces yet, so.
We need Ted in here to tell us about them.
I know, right? So I'm guessing that would be one to take to Mesa Typewriter. Then we have
next week.
Yeah. Then we have Paolo says hello everyone. Just one question: how to save your marriage if you are a typewriter fan? Or how to stop buying them?
I have a solution. I began my collection after my divorce.
Oh man.
I'm single, so it doesn't matter.
There you go.
What I would say is take 10 minutes every day and write a love letter to your wife.
Oh, that's a good
typewriter
idea.
every day.
Yeah.
That is great advice. Great advice.
So Anthony, what is St. Patrick's Day? What is that? I just don't see him. I just wondered who was listening.
Then let's see. Then Anthony says, are there support groups for typewriter addicts?
Right here.
This sort
called
of
Typewriter Club Live.
Yeah,
Typewriters Anonymous, like Alcohol Anonymous, but for Typewriter Anonymous, yeah.
There's all kinds of groups on Facebook for this sort of thing. You know.
Yeah.
You'll find lots of people have the same problem.
Oh yeah.
I was surprised, you know.
Yeah.
And how many people still like typewriters.
And then we have Paolo asking another one: is there any specific exercise to save your back from pain, except carrying typewriters every day? Well, I think just keeping
lifting with your legs and not with your back.
Yeah, and correct typing posture, and I think Joe had a video about.
Oh, he did. Yeah, that's right.
And
he does.
He actually puts his typewriter up higher, so he has. I forget what he calls it. His arm at a different angle.
Yeah.
So,
I prefer mine lower. So you just have to find your level. It might be different for everyone, right? Yeah.
I know when I do something that I'm not that comfortable with, like typing, is I tense up easily. I mean, I can type on my iPad, but like when I use my typewriter and manually and my fingers are like getting between keys because they're not the big fat keys, I'm like, wow, you know, and you start to tense up and you get sore easier. So I would imagine if you did it all day as a secretary, you'd build all these muscles and you'd relax too, because that was your job. So I imagine doing it a lot is probably one of the, I mean, in like May was saying, the right posture and all that too, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Practice, posture.
Yeah.
And then we have JCW saying hello. So hello, JCW. And thank you for watching. Yeah, very cool. We're all caught up on that. Did anyone else have a typing prompt or want to talk about what they've been typing this week? Again, I have done almost no typing this week, actually the past couple weeks, but I think I have a good excuse.
Yeah, you do.
I've got one I can quickly go through. It's not as
definitely.
long as Williams. Sorry. This week has been seen some monumental changes in the world. COVID is suddenly no longer a thing, thankfully, but it has been replaced with a war, the first of this scale since World War II. The ability for the human to handle, digest, and try to understand this is most appropriately handled by the analog typewriter. So I've been writing about goings on in the world as a way to get it out and read and reread and try to come to some sense with myself of what these events mean and what the world means. I keep a typewriter beside my laptop while I'm working, and I've been doing some letters, trying to improve my turnaround time, as it has been woefully slow this last 3 years for some reason. Finally, I've been typing invoices and sales orders for the mugs that I've been selling on old department store sales order forms that Curry from Willow Creek sent me last year and which I had reproduced. They come in surprisingly useful for this. I'm glad to have found a use for them. And finally, I type test pages, lots and lots of test pages. Lots of lines of ends, big, small, upper, lower, nonsensical rambling words and smudgy letters. I try to type every day, although sometimes it's a challenge in the world we live in, but necessary to allow a person to try to come to terms with looking in the mirror of your own soul, so to speak. That's it.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That's great. Yeah, that's all I've been doing, test typing, but I've been like trying to see which typewriters will take cards, you know, so I've been test typing index cards on different typewriters.
That feed through nicely without getting caught up.
Yeah, the Selectric is the best because it has the large diameter platen, but the 6 series typewriters all type on index and postcards really well too. So
yeah.
Yep.
I haven't
no
had much of a
typing
problem.
prompt because they're like, oh, I fixed the H, I cleaned the segment, you know.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, it's just typewriter notes, you know, so not really a typing prompt, but that's what I've been typing, just
excellent,
waxing poetic on the typewriters, on, you know, about the typewriters, on the typewriters, and then repair notes.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Very good.
I haven't been doing any personal writing or anything, you know, other than that. But spring break is coming up, in summer, which is, you know, the best perks of being a school teacher is I have, you know, weeks off during the year that I can spend more time with typewriters. So I look forward to that this spring and summer. That's when I get most of my typing done.
Yeah. Excellent. Rich, were you saying something?
Yeah, a couple things. May was talking about cards, and I haven't had a problem with 3x5s or 4x6s on any machines that I can recall. They go in pretty good, and I use them quite often. To-do list, shopping.
Yeah, they're thinner than postcards. Postcards are thicker.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Yeah, but the same machines, they take postcards really well. The Selectric and the 6 series. Some typewriters I haven't even tried to put postcards through because I just know, you know, with the platen being as hard as they are, and they don't have the card holders. Like having a card holder makes a big difference in postcard typewriter.
Absolutely. I agree. Yeah. The other thing I was going to say was,
and our next exchange is what, next Monday, right?
Not this Monday, but next Monday. Yes.
Next Monday. Okay. Yeah.
What was the other thing, Rich?
I normally type, or at least quite often, a daily. But this last couple of weeks, I've had some soul searching about the war, and just been writing several papers about my thoughts on that. So, and I have lots. So, I didn't write anything necessarily for this group, but we didn't really want to get political or anything. But you know, I guess everybody has a perspective and a view, and I'm coming at it from a soldier point of view, and I kind of I feel sensitive to that. So there's a lot, and unfortunately, that's. It's just sad. Larry was talking about that earlier, you know, with the idiots, and I just kind of have the same kind of view. It's the people doing the wars are not the people doing the war. People running the wars are not the people doing the wars, and it's
Exactly.
very, very sad. So that's what I've been typing, is just kind of
Yeah.
consumed my thoughts during the day, and at night I'm not losing sleep, like they are, but it's just it boggles my mind this day and age that people can do this.
Exactly.
I write a lot of songs for church, and I wrote this one 2 days ago, but it wasn't really for church, and I don't know if I'm going to do it in church. I don't know what I did, but I just like writing songs. So I don't know. You want to hear what I wrote? I mean, it's I typed it on my iPad, if that counts.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I think of it because I haven't read it since I wrote it. But anyway, I made a song out of it. So there's a chorus. So I'll have to like skip the chorus and go over the chorus and I don't know how to do it. Anyway, angels must enjoy a variety of things and not just flying on their feathery wings. They probably like ice hockey and football too. They probably like to take a hike for something to do. And then the chorus is, are angels sleeping? Do they get tired of watching over me and you? I think the only suffering that they might do is when they look at sadness in me and in you. I think they like ice cream and candy too. And I doubt they get sick like me and you. I'm sure they praise Lord God all of the time. I'm pretty sure they don't have to stand in line. And then the chorus, are angels sleeping? Do they get tired of just watching over me and you? I think the only suffering that they might do is when they look at sadness in me and you. I think they like their sleeping just for fun sometimes. They might even enjoy some long waiting lines. Do they like their eating at a big banquet? Do they watch their weight and try to stay fit? Are angels sleeping? Do they get tired of just watching over me and you? I think the only suffering that they might do is when they look at sadness in me and you. Are angels sleeping? Do they get tired of just watching over me and you? I repeated the chorus twice. I say, I think the only suffering that they might do is when they look at sadness in me and you.
I like it.
A lot.
I like that. So that's a song.
Yeah.
I'll have to sing it next time.
I don't know. When I read it, I felt when I was writing it, because I knew what the sadness in the world, and I wanted to write something about it, but I wanted it to be kind of uplifting and lighthearted too. And so when I read it just now, it was like, I felt sadder than I did when I first but I was feeling, I mean, it was meant to be lighthearted. And I don't know if I'm going to do it in church, and I could, but I usually am more poignant in church about things, but anyway.
Yeah, I wrote one too, and I was gonna put it to a video. I've already recorded it, but I have to redo the drums with, the electric guitar and lead guitar and vocals and bass and keyboard and stuff. But I was going to put it to some video so I could put it on YouTube for Memorial Day, and it's a little sad, but it seems like I'm just wondering if I ought not try to find some video from the Ukraine war and apply it to that. The trouble I'm having is I'm looking for Creative Commons video, which is is copyright free, and I can't seem to find any. There's so much video on the internet about what's going on, and but every time you see a video, it's got the news agency watermark on the video somehow, and so it's not really copyright free. So
Yeah.
still I'll probably put that up on my music YouTube channel when I solve the video problem on that.
I always copyright my music, but I didn't copyright this yet, so I guess I better hurry up now. I was like, oh yeah. I hope they like it that much. Actually, that would be cool.
Yeah, there's a way to copyright, and I've never done that. I've got some of my original music that I've written and recorded on YouTube, and I think that, in my mind, satisfies validation that it was originally mine and the date that I posted it. If for some reason anything comes back around saying I stole it, I do covers, and I put that on my YouTube, and I also do things that I write. It's just kind of fun.
Well, getting back to the video, I know I haven't specifically looked for video, but I know there's a gallery of like official White House photography and probably video as well. And I found it very interesting that all that is considered public domain. So that may be one source of something. I'm not sure what they would have there for you, but
that'd be interesting. Yeah, I was looking for local video or video of something local over there, you know, within the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And stuff. And because it's, you know, like Larry was saying, you know, the people that are doing the war are the ones that are most affected. And you see that in, you know, all their faces and all the things and just the tragedy that goes on the live video. And what's kind of odd too is I found a Creative Commons NASA video. I've got a YouTube video that I wrote. It was just an instrumental, but I used some NASA video, which was public domain. And yet for some reason I got a copyright claim because of a section of that video. I mean, like, I don't even know how long of a section, very small. And it wasn't illegal. It wasn't, I didn't violate a copyright. I don't know why it picked up on that. And it was my original music. So I shouldn't have gotten, it wasn't a strike. It was just a copyright notification.
Yeah.
I can tell you why that is.
Why?
Because they picked that up with the they had, just like any of the other advertising and stuff, they have an algorithm that picks up something that sounds like a copyright. And they put a claim on it. And what the claim means is that they're flagging it, and you cannot, if you want to monetize it and say, like, put a link up and say, well, please send me money or you know, even a tip, you're not allowed to do that because it's got that claim on it and that's flagged, and they want to know if you monetize it, they're not going to let you.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I read all that stuff. I don't monetize my stuff. I'm not sure I ever plan to. I'm not a starving artist, so but I just like to make the stuff and put it out there. I have no idea why they flagged that section of video from the NASA archives. They didn't explain why or who, and it wasn't the whole video. It was just a short segment of it. And,
I wonder if that clip was used in like news or something, and so they claimed the copyright for it, even though, you know, they're reusing that same footage.
It's an idea. Yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way. That's true.
But you should be able to contest it because the NASA footage is public domain. So
yeah, it's the thing is, I'm not really that interested as long as it's not a strike. I'm not trying to monetize it, so it doesn't affect me one way or the other.
Yeah.
There's some if you try and do covers, some bands, their publishers have a hard problem with that. I did a cover with a friend of mine, our pastor. We did Hotel California. I was doing the guitar and we were both singing. And as soon as I put that up, it got a copyright notification. I don't need it that bad, so I took it back down. You know, I just thought it was kind of fun. But I mean, like, the Eagles are pretty quick to that. Whoever, I don't remember who publishes them. But,
I'm being the Eagles, I'm not surprised. I do not like the Eagles, but
yeah,
you know.
I think they're great.
Well, their music is great, but the you know, Don Henley and I shouldn't talk about Glenn Fry, but they were kind of jerks. So
yeah, yeah. There's always things going on with the band members.
Yeah.
There's a lot of musicians out there that I say I love them because I do, but they're jerks. You hear them talk or whatever, but they're, just because you're a jerk doesn't mean you're not good at something. Exactly. And so you might as well appreciate people's good qualities, and then if you can ignore their bad qualities, if you can't ignore it, that's another thing.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you can, you know, and you have to let it go.
That's like athletes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, my favorite band is actually The Doors, and of course Jim Morrison was, the biggest jerk of them all. So.
Yeah, trying to separate their personalities from their product. That's
exactly.
Sometimes have to do.
Yeah.
And then a lot of them were stars when they were teenagers. And I don't know about you, but when I was a teenager, you probably would have been less impressed than you might be right now.
Oh,
it's true. Yeah.
You might not be. So you might be. So that just tells you something, even.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever.
All right. Well, does anybody else have any typewriter prompts or questions or comments before we go?
I wrote a typing prompt for Valentine's Day, but I'm going to save it. I turned it into a song, but I need to practice it because it's been
cool. Yeah, definitely.
It's been a month.
Yeah.
I'm going to save it, and then next week I'll play it for
cool.
you.
You're gonna guitar play it, May?
Guitar, play it, and everything.
yeah.
It's been a month. I haven't messed around with it for a while, so I need to remember what I did. So
looking forward to
next
it.
week. Next week I'll do it.
Yeah,
and maybe Larry, you can too. We'll have a little singer, songwriter, typewriter thing next week.
Yeah,
if that's okay with you, Greg.
Of course.
Yeah. Let's sing. Let's see. Happy Type Pals to you.
Typewriter Club Live. I already did one. It was a while back. Typewriter Club Live. Click click. So I'll work on that.
Yeah,
give me something to do, and then spring break, we'll rock out some typewriter tunes. How about that?
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
That's a plan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my throat is my throat isn't fully recovered, so I'm starting to feel it now. So I think we'll go ahead and end it here.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so glad to be back, and you guys are awesome, and I appreciated all the positive emails and letters I received. So yeah, it means a lot. And you guys are awesome.
Let's hear it for Gregory.
Oh.
Yeah. Yay, Gregory.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Gregory.
Okay.
Always a pleasure.
All right. So
see you next time.
Yeah, next Saturday is the Type and Talk, and then Sunday will be Typewriter Club Live, and then we have the deadline that Monday for the next postcard exchange. So all right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye-bye.